Okay, I pressed the record button, so all those jokes I said lost to time, but that's okay. We move.
Damn, there was a really funny one too. Maybe your funniest you've ever made, but now nobody cares.
Oh well.
Okay. Okay. Quick sync check. I'm just gonna say like actually I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, and then you tell me your favorite fruit.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Gold banana.
Grapes. Gold banana? Is there a not?
It's not. It's like a weird, delicious gold green banana thing. Not banana. Wait, did I say banana? What am I, Donkey Kong? I meant apple.
What did you mean to say? Oh, golden apple, of course. Fucking like drooling like fat cartoon best friend who is also an ape. Golden banana.
Oh man, it's just because I eat a lot of bananas lately, but it's not even my favorite.
Yeah, that's crazy because I've also been eating a lot of bananas lately because I went through a depressive episode and so I bought like a 12 bunch of bananas to eat one a day. I couldn't go through all of
Oh,
them.
I mean,
I couldn't go through all of them because they rotted, but shout out to bananas.
it is pretty hot outside. Yeah, shout out to bananas.
By the way, welcome to our podcast.
Hi, I don't know what this podcast is called. I just call it my friend Gabri's podcast.
That's
Why not?
actually beautiful. It's just called Gabri Interviews. I'm Gabri. This is my interview.
Hi.
And today, this is a fucking, like, months in the making, years in yearning.
Sure.
The one, the only fucking leather ice cream.
Hello, my name is Nicola.
Hello. How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm here to also promote my new video game. Myths are 100% true. Just go open your browser. Don't mind. It may be scary, but it's okay. just go look up myths are 100% true, and if you see a Steam link, it'll be right there. Take a look with your eyeballs. All good.
I like you like walking through like you would like a kindergartner, like, hey listen, it might be scary, but I want you to go to google.com and I want No, it's like the baby for PS2 fucking post.
Oh yeah, it is like, babe, listen, listen to me. I need you to do this for me. If you come back empty-handed, then you didn't see the myths.
Yeah, could the green M&M be a myth? Do you think she's myth coded?
Shit, I don't think she has white eyes. Okay, maybe if she had those, then I think Clev could reasonably be like, well, this doesn't look like a person I've ever seen, so I mean, I guess. I don't think Clev even understands like the concept of like a food mascot. Maybe.
I like the idea of the green M&M uses her like overwhelming sexual wiles to attempt to lure in Clev, but Clev is just like too autistic about myths to like get taken by
there's
it.
definitely some kind of like asexual coding to every damn thing I make for obvious reasons. Personal experience sort of thing. You write from the heart, as they say.
Just really funny considering. No, I shan't. I shan't.
You were about to go to dangerous territory. I could sense it.
So that we need to wait like 30, like an hour, and then I can pull out voltage starving. We need to like ease into
one, yeah.
We need to ease into that.
We need to get the fucking. We need to start getting that shit that's like non-controversial.
Okay.
We can't be talking about Wolfgang from Don't Starve's ass in the bathroom.
Okay, put it. Well, hold on. No, I was gonna ask a question, but now I have to know what the fuck do you mean Wolfgang Don't Starve ass in the back rooms?
That's not the back rooms, the bathroom.
Oh right! Oh my god, I forgot about that.
That's my like favorite fucking like joke from any of those games. I even reference it in fucking Myths.
Oh, is that true? When?
It's not okay. The part that's funny is not the part where like you see his bare ass. The part that's funny is that in the bathroom, which doesn't even look much like a bathroom, it looks more like an attic, which is also funny. There's a poster in the background that says, I need to use the bathroom, and it's Agent 47 from, like, Hitman Blood Money. Which is really funny to me because you're already in the bathroom.
You know what that sounds like? Have you seen that Tumblr post? I quote it like every day of my life. It's a Tumblr post of every Overwatch character dialogue is "I need to complete my mission."
Oh, that's kind of like Deadlock too.
I quote that like every day. And that's exactly fucking Agent 40. I'm imagining it like that one art of like the guy with the twin pistols holding them up. It's just like it'll leave nothing but a trail of fucking poop, but it says I need to use the bathroom.
You don't even need to imagine it, sister. He just drops that line in the video game.
Okay. Okay, I need to ask actual fucking questions.
Oh yeah, I forgot this is an interview.
We kind of touched on this, but who are you and what are you known for?
Hi, I'm Nicola. I'm here to promote my video game. Okay, so I am an artist on the internet. I come from not well-known country Serbia, and I speak fluent English for some reason, which is really confusing to everybody in real life. Because I don't even speak Serbian very well. What do I create things. There we go. Things. Videos on the internet and also video games. Damn near every other thing in my life is just for the purpose of making more art, making more videos, making more video games especially, being around friends, eating good food, and looking at nice brutalist buildings. Everything else is just kind of in service of those things, including money.
That's relatable, honestly. That's relatable. That's kind of how I feel. Yeah, so like what's like the stuff that like what's like your most famous stuff?
Well, in terms of video games, that would be at least there is Ceda Cedovic, which is like a Mario-like game, except the music is made by like an insane person, or at least it sounds like it. You hear it for it. The entire soundtrack, almost the entire soundtrack is composed of songs that will scare the hose.
If you haven't heard the Ceda soundtrack, what's like one to like immediately like jump scare with? I want to say like look up like Pizza Gets Grounded,
Yeah,
or like Facebook Shaman.
Yeah, Facebook Shaman. That's the first one I heard as well, because that was technically the first one that was teased for Mario Obama, back when that project was known as Mario Obama, and then completely shifted into being about my OC from when I was 13 years old, Ceda Cedovic. I am now 30 years old, and that motherfucker's still running around in there, so...
That's lovely.
Another famous thing I made is Mr. 100% True, but that's sort of in the air. Has been a little while, but not enough. But probably my most popular thing is the Isaac of Isaac Re-Isaac, which is a pretty good video to be like the most popular video I have. I can name much worse videos I made that could have gone popular. Let me tell you.
Could have been the fucking nuclear throwing emoji parodies.
Yeah, I dare not say for some of the like early ones. Like maybe you don't go in there, but
I will gladly go through those trenches because I think it's awesome and fascinating. Okay, yeah. So just like, what are some of your first like cartoons and your first games? Like, what is like the really early shit that you got your start into? And also like, I guess what also like inspired those initial things?
Well, I think probably the first thing that the first cartoon that I really liked as a kid was probably Dexter's Laboratory, which makes sense because then you get into that like Dexter's Laboratory gateway drug into Ed's world, and then that into like whatever the hell I'm doing.
Is that a pipeline?
Yeah, pipeline. That's the word I was looking for. I'm pretty sure something in there has led to Ed's world to whatever the hell I have now, which is, natural artist thing. But the first video game I think I was ever like really into was probably the PC port of that PS1 Frogger game. I'm pretty sure in kindergarten, the kindergarten toys would only have one little figurine of a frog, and I would get really, really upset if anybody else took it because I need that thing to make the fucking levels with like building blocks.
That's awesome. I did such fucking similar shit as a kid. I would just like make games out of plushies essentially.
Oh yeah.
I was a control freak too. I was the fucking game master every time.
Yeah, it's just control freak is one of those things you need in order to like become a director, and then you have to unlearn because otherwise you're gonna be unbearable.
That's literally it. That's fucking wow. Yeah, that's deep immediately right there. Yeah, I get like this. It's very like tropey biopic kind of thing of like when I was a kid, I would make up little games on the playground, and now I'm making big games on the computer. But it is just like it literally just starts from like playing around and thinking like I want to make a thing like this in a very abstract philosophical way.
Yeah, I just kind of did it because it was fun, and I still continue to do this because it's fun. Hopefully, it makes money,
Yeah.
but you know, hey, I didn't make any money when doing it in kindergarten, so hey, who's gonna stop me now? Yeah, it's just really stupid how it was like, yeah, when I was in kindergarten, I would try to make levels for the Frogger game using blocks, and then I make levels for the Binding of Isaac. And it's like, well, that shit works out, I guess. Why?
Yeah, you were a fucking level designer on Repentance, which is
I keep
probably
forgetting that because it's not technically my game.
what a fucking Mickey Mouse, what a fucking narcissist. I think we all need that like Sonic Roblox hangout game fit where our house is the shape of our head. I think that's what we all need to strive for.
Yeah, like in the early days of the Poor Four, Ceda used to have like they used to have their headquarters, and and Ceda used to have like a big sign that has his head on it. You know, kind of like fucking McDonald's or whatever the fuck. But the whatever the fuck Tua, the pipe would go into fucking space, and you can see his head there. Like the pipe was just unnaturally tall. There was an episode where they went into the future, and it's just like layers of earth would just pile onto their house. And after like a million years, they would finally surface, and they would actually see the head
That's really good. That's gotta you gotta bring that one back.
somehow.
But okay, some of the first stuff you put out on the internet. Let's talk about that.
Oh, how fitting. The last thing I put on is related vaguely to the first thing I put out, which the first video I put out was me in Windows Movie Maker. I made a GTA myth video showcasing various myths from San Andreas. Like, I don't know, like the serial killer or Leatherface or whatever.
Do you want to explain like the culture around that for anyone who isn't familiar?
So this was back in like 2007, 2008, so San Andreas was relatively new, and the game back then was so big and so like dense with life and Easter eggs and stuff like that that people thought even before the game released that like there's so much stuff in here they could have added Bigfoot. And then from that, it just sort of spiraled into being all sorts of things like Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre to like Mothman to like the Yeti, which is basically Bigfoot, but like on a mountain, which is really weird because San Andreas doesn't have snow environments. It has it for like a single mission where you go outside the town, but it's not in the regular thing. So modders had to like take the tallest mountain that doesn't even have snow and just put him there. And people would just like think of hoaxes and like classic video game hoaxes as like, oh, if you do this specific bullshit, you'll actually get this thing to come out, and he gives you a big kiss or whatever.
Wow.
And then there's just like all sorts of weird shit, like CJ's mom's ghost, or the fucking ring girl that comes out of the TV, which was sparked by like some video of a guy turning around, and then they edited it in frame by frame, like the girl from Fear for some reason.
That's like layers of abstraction.
Yeah, I know. It's like God help you if you're somewhat familiar with video games, because otherwise I just sound like I'm saying bullshit. But that's kind of the thing with me. It's like either you understand like, oh, well, okay, I understand what the guy is like just about referencing or talking about. But if you don't, then it kind of sounds like appealing ramblings of a madman, and that's funny in itself, which is good.
It's great though. It's fascinating stuff. And so like yeah, so a lot of that fucking myth culture and that whole like were you like was it like unironic and then you eventually started making the riff videos?
Yeah, it started off as like I would say unironic, but it is somewhat cynical. When I was making the first videos, it was just purely to like be popular. So it's like, so obviously I was like, I didn't make what was me. I was making like what I thought people wanted to see, which is kind of misses the point, but whatever. At least, I mean, now I know, but you know, you get it.
Yeah.
And then it became kind of ironic because I think back then, like being like ironic and talking shit was like the popular thing, at least on YouTube. I think nowadays that kind of moved on to like other sites. It's like a teenager thing, of course. I was like I don't know, 20. Yeah, typical teen years, 20 to 24.
Yeah, I would know nothing about being a 20-something.
Yeah, who knew? And so it's like I would make ironic videos about that, but then in my video games, I would reference those things because it's like, hey, I'm marketing these video games to my fans, so if I put in stuff that is from my videos, they'll know what it is. And then that sort of spiraled. I think what I like is this aspect that like you don't necessarily have to understand what the hell I'm talking about in my like art and video games, because if you don't, that's entertaining on itself. And I started leaning into that when I saw the Ross's Game Dungeon review of Eternum.
Oh yes.
Where the video game is like, it's like a French game, and it was translated into English, but like Ross feels like some of the jokes don't land for the reason they wanted to because it's French jokes that don't make sense in English, which he still finds funny, but not for the reasons they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
And that was like interesting to me. I was like, I could do that.
Yeah, I've been thinking about this. Is so interesting because I also had a very similar moment of inspiration where I wanted to replicate the feeling of something being broken translation, but it was from do you watch City 11?
Yeah, I do.
For me, it came from Postal Corkscrew Rules, which is like I think like Russian Postal 2 mod that is like a fucking fever dream, and characters react like lunatics because if anyone doesn't know, it's a mod of Postal 2 that was made in Russian and then for the Japanese version got an English dub. So it is a poorly translated Russian game into Japanese that is then dubbed into English by Japanese speakers phonetically speaking out the English. So it's like literally those like bits of like 100 Google Translates.
Yeah, they did that shit naturally. How novel, incredible.
Yeah, I think that like that's something that I take a lot from you is just the very strange gags that feel like you're missing out on an in-joke, and then when you are a part of that in-joke, it's really satisfying as a fan and feels very personal, like how I could tell that there's this weird fucking game you keep referencing that's like a bootleg Bubble Bobble.
Yeah, it's called Bubble Bobble Nostalgia.
Yeah, Bubble Bobble Nostalgia. It appears in Ceda, and then there's a reference to it in Myths.
Yeah.
With the fucking poster of like nostalgia bubbles. And then that's not even, there's an extra layer to it with the fucking, you want to explain the expiration date gag?
Yes, of course. The expiration date on the shampoo says infinite. That's a reference to a classic fucking Tumblr post from like Just Bender Things, where the image just says like, shampoo doesn't expire, baby. And then it's like quoted as Bender within my vision. That's a fucking like classic Tumblr post. So I just referenced that too. Having the shampoo be like infinite expiration date.
That's really good. Like that's one of those things that like it like because I know you, because I knew the nostalgia bit, but you had to tell me about the expiration date bit.
Yes.
And like I think it's great to unpack those things both as a fan and also as a friend. But also I think that it's just like for your audience, it's so. I'm gonna I'm gonna say something, and you know what? Some people are gonna be pissed off at it. Some people are gonna kind of call it defeatist. But like literally, like you and Toby Fox are so funny because you're on Tumblr. It's like it sounds defeatist, but literally it's because you two are fucking Tumblr funny. That like you know I'm right. People watching know I'm right.
Some people on Tumblr aren't funny motherfuckers. Uh, it's it. You just gotta. It's just, I just like go where the fucking posts are like absurd and funny, and Tumblr just fucking still has it.
Tumblr
It's fucking
yeah,
sad.
dude, I laugh so hard when sometimes I swear to God we follow the same blog sometimes because you fucking send an ask to one of my favorite blogs, Ask Pac-Man.
Oh, that's run by a moot.
That's run by a no way. You know
Yeah.
the Ask Pac-Man owner?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I fucking love Ask
I'm
Pac-Man.
not gonna say who because I don't think they want people to know, but it has to stay a secret. I know a lot of people, so that doesn't narrow it down by a lot.
That's incredible because I've been making jokes about Ask Pac-Man for like a long time. It's one of my favorite Tumblr blogs. Everyone
really
go to
good.
tumblr.com/ask-pacman. It's just like the bit is this like Pac-Man with like this profile picture of him like smiling, like giving a thumbs up, and all of the posts are like someone will give him an ask and he'll just go, "You're a nasty, disgusting puppet pig booger bitch boy."
It's just like he's angry for no fucking reason.
Like literally there's no winning with him because no matter what you say he would just get mad at you. People will like be so nice to him and then he'll be like, eat shit, dude. Or he'll be like
he'll just like respond to like random posts unprompted too.
Yeah, hold on, I need to find one of my favorite aspects. There's so many. He does this thing where he just like reblogs random things. Like one of the recent ones is there's this image of like a bear looking at a forest, and there's like text of like, I just hope the next viral trend is empathy and critical thinking skills, and he reblogs it, this gorilla is boring as shit.
He's like, he doesn't have to do any of that. What is Pac-Man's problem?
He's gone fucking nuts, dude. I think my favorite I need to say this and then we can like move on from Ask Pac-Man is my favorite post of his is when someone, I forget the thing, but I think someone went like, I hear Namco is thinking of a new mascot, and he replies, that's crazy because I was talking to your closest friends and they all decided they're gonna stop pretending they like you.
That's fucking oh.
I've had dude, if like when I fucking make it, I've talked about this with my friends, but when I make a game, I just want to have a character with a bit is that they talk like Ask Pac-Man. That's like their typing quirk.
I just fucking hate it here.
Just like I can't go for P-Jack. P-Jack's gotten too big. Toby Fox talked about P-Jack. He's gonna put P-Jack in chapter 6.
They still need to bring him back. At least bring back their corpse. That reminds me of a Tumblr post I reblogged. That was like obscure P-Jack posts selling like Picassos.
That's really good. Okay, fucking circling back of just like, yeah, keep talking about the early cartoons and games you posted on the internet and just like stuff that you made, because you have a very long history of stuff that you definitely do tend to in your current work.
Shit, can I blow my nose for a second?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, I'll just mute this, but it won't be in the video, so don't freak the fuck out if you see it.
You just mute it on Discord, and then I assume it's still gonna be in the recording. I'm gonna keep that. I'm keeping that shit. I don't care.
That's crazy talk. Okay, fuck, I made videos back in 2009. Ah, shit. Ah, fuck, I'm not even supposed to be here.
Hope I don't jack off.
I hope I don't clown pewter. Fuck that.
They put the clown pewter in Wound. Can you believe this shit? Okay.
I know, you talked about that. That's how I found out about clown pewter, but what the bozo dubbed over. But that's okay.
That's awesome. Okay, cartoons and games.
First cartoons I made is like the really early Pour 4 stuff, which is just like basically slideshows. It's basically like the new Pour 4 animations that I make right now, but like worse. And like animates slightly worse, and that's it. And it was less funny.
Explain the Pour 4.
The Pour 4 are OCs that me and a real life friend. I think it was mostly the in real life friend that came up with them, that are based on his friends, like 4 of them, and through some kind of weird game of telephone that has now at this point unrecognizable, mostly, is he would tell me the stories that he just made the fuck up about them, of them doing all sorts of crazy shit, and then I would like draw comics of them or animations back in like 2009. And then I sort of it just sort of became my thing more and more as time went on. And then there was like a long hiatus for a few years, and then I brought them back as a joke in like a random video about Laughing Hill or something, which is a reference to a video that's also been removed by now.
Yeah, so like you brought back the Poor Four, like were originally like you called them glorified Eddsworld OCs at one point.
Yeah. They basically were. It's just that it's like they did really stupid. Like Eddsworld makes like sense from a plot standpoint. Like they go to Atlantis and there's water-related shenanigans. The Poor Four are like one of the recent episodes is Ceda invents a slur for people that aren't asexual, and he goes on a talk show to announce his new slur, much like how I am like doing an interview right now. Like he released a book, and he's just talking about the new slur he invented, and it's just fucker. Like, complete uncreativity. He just calls people that have sex fuckers. And that's it. And the interviewer is just, like, treating it like normal. And then and then the interview is over, and then his friends are just like, that was funny.
I love the bit. I love the bit where she goes like, "What do you hope happens with your new slur?" And then he goes, "It gets someone killed."
Yeah, Jed is like a very violent person, very violent boy.
It's awesome.
He's like violent, arrogant, delusional. So the whole thing is built around those characteristics. I like writing those.
Yeah, he is just like me for real. Honest to God, like as someone who is a psychopath, is like antisocial personality disorder. Most likely, I haven't been officially diagnosed, but like blah 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 blah. Point is, I fucking love Ceda so much. He's fucking awesome. I love the archetype that he represents, which is just like utterly violent and insane. Have you ever seen Blockhead? No, Blockhead appears in the wrong game, doesn't he? I know you've seen Blockhead.
Yeah, he does. I was a big fan of Blockhead. I made a video on one of my old channels that's really like cringy to me, so I'll probably never see it on my free will ever, unless it's been like maybe 20 years and it's so removed from me I barely registered that I made it. I was for sure a fan of Blockhead, even though I think I forgot most of anything that happens in there, but I am pretty damn sure that Blockhead inspired some of the early Poor Four stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense. Blockhead's awesome. Go fucking watch Blockhead after
Blockhead
you play Myths. After you play Myths 100% True and watch all the Poor Four cartoons and play fucking Voltage Starving.
Don't play that one, okay? Play it for the. Just look at the joke from the thumbnail of my video, and that's it. That's funny enough. By the way, if you haven't seen Blockhead ever, his head is not actually a block. It's actually incredibly circular.
Yeah, which is really funny.
Yeah. Also a character that's a little silly that has a circular head and like
true
lines for eyes.
Jolly.
You know? Clayman from Neverland.
Oh, yeah, Clayman. Yeah, that makes sense.
And also Clev, but you know, I think Clev definitely was first taken from Clayman, to be honest.
I can see that.
Because he was always supposed to have the character of being like kind of wide-eyed and wondered and Alice in Wonderland bullshit.
I like that. That's cute. I like Clev a lot. He's our beautiful autism rep. Heart emoji.
Yeah, absolutely. He is. Yeah, he's, I think, autism. Yeah, he's definitely autism coded. I wrote that boy like that.
Yeah, so there was the Poor Four cartoons, and then, like you said earlier, there was like a large... You made them a lot when you were younger, and then there was a large pause, and then you brought them back for like a one-note joke video where they were like, "Oh, it's my old OCs."
That's a great fucking... that's a great plot point still. The past comes to haunt the present.
It's very funny because they I think almost like I cannot imagine there was a fucking OG Poor Four fan that's still watching the modern cartoons.
I can't imagine either. My brother was literally part of the voiced Ceda originally, so
Yeah, there we go.
he still technically watches it. So that's at least one motherfucker.
Yeah, there we go. It's so funny because I think like every Ceda fan now, every Poor 4 fan is used to the modern interpretations, and so seeing them in a more codified style. When did you post the Laughing Hell video? Like 2013 or something?
Yeah, something like that. 2014, something like that.
Yeah, and so like a much more like modern and close to the present version of your style, but it's like a representation of the Poor 4 as they were when you were like a kid. Is very surreal to see. Ceda had like a slightly different design.
Yeah.
Famously among people who don't go outside, Ceda used to have an ear, and now he had that shit chopped off.
Ah, just like Van Gogh.
Reference to the classics.
You gotta put in classy references every now and then.
Gotta put in classics of game.
Yeah. I think 5 minutes in, any normal person just shut off this podcast because I don't think they understand anything. So at this point, I think it's only my fans watching this, and yours, hopefully.
Hopefully.
At least, like, I'm hoping people are, like, at least keeping up.
Yeah.
Because I do have a tendency to go off and nobody knows what the hell I'm talking about.
I can confidently say that people love that, though. I mean, that's your whole fucking shtick on YouTube, and that's also like,
yeah.
I can confidently say as like someone, the fucking Maxine interview was really well received. People love that shit. So if people want to listen to LeatherIceCream talk about like LeatherIceCream, then they got the fucking LeatherIceCream audio.
All right, well, I guess I'm just being no self-esteem for no fucking reason.
Yeah, shut the fuck up, huh? How about you fucking believe in yourself, you dumb asshole?
Ah, fuck. I have a severe lack of, like, mean things that are funny to say.
Just call ass Pac-Man, it's fine. Just call me a nasty, disgusting puppet pig booger bitch.
Fucking... Oh, yeah, the first games I made was in Flash, obviously, and it was also, like, late 2009. Well, at first it was called The Stupid Quiz. And I made the entire game while it was called Stupid Quiz, and it was just a ripoff of the Impossible Quiz, except it made no fucking sense. So it was just a guessing game, literally. Like, one of the questions involved, like, which of these characters is Ceda? And it gives Ceda, Shadow Man, and some third guy. I think it was like
Shadow Man's that old?
No, I think it was my brother Sona back then, and you just had to pick like which one is Ceda.
That I did not realize Shadow Man was that old. Shadow Man's we can talk about like Ceda in detail, but Shadow Man's like an enemy in Ceda. He's like the Hammer Bros equivalent.
Yeah, Shadow Man is like an OC my uncle made up, and then he was like, "How about you make an animation about him?" And then I did, and he voiced him. And that's kind of it. And then he gets brought back to in Ceda because Ceda is all about my stuff from like way back then. That and the entire point of the game is, maybe the past is kind of dog shit.
We'll get to Ceda. There's a few more steps I want to take. I will. Have you seen that image of like Mario Sunshine if it was released episodically, and it's like a tier list of candidates for who Shadow Mario is, and at the top is like most likely is like Toadsworth and Wario. I'm imagining like myths are 100% true if it was released episodically. It's like who is Cordon Blues, most likely fucking like
Tino.
Shadow Man.
Shadow Man. That's fucking that. I would have never thought of that. Just bringing him back.
That'd be a great thing to do in a future game. Is like the final plot twist is that like a character takes off their mask and they're just like a fucking extremely niche legacy character like Shadow Man, and the main character just goes, "Oh my god, I can't imagine this! Someone I have no idea who it is."
But Gabri, that already fucking happened.
Oh my god,
that's the true final boss of Ceda.
I guess that is literally what happened.
Mario Obama just reveals himself, and Ceda's like, "Who?"
That is a really good bit of I have no idea who the fuck you are, but prepare to die.
That's fucking Ceda. I think he would have said that about just about anyone.
Yeah. Okay.
Old video games I made. There was like, anyway, I made before I went on a tangent, the Stupid Quiz was the first game I made. It was in Flash. It was stupid because it was completely damn random. And it was inside jokes, again, just like I do now, except that it was required for you to pass to know what the hell I'm talking about. So it was just a guessing game. I'm pretty sure there was wrong facts in there. The entire video game plays Boulevard of Broken Dreams by Green Day throughout the entire thing. And it's really. I think that's why I couldn't upload it, because Newgrounds has this rule that says like you can't, your submission can't include copyrighted music. So I was like, okay, I don't want to risk it. So I didn't upload that, but I did re-upload the wrong game, which is a different thing.
I love that, like, to a certain extent, you've never changed, is that you've gotten more self-aware and find stuff like that fun. Like, I can imagine you now making a quiz game where Boulevard of Broken Dreams plays the entire time. It's, like, the funniest thing ever.
Absolutely. I think it's just because I've, like, somehow maintained my whimsy. And I think it's better because my self-awareness since then has made me aware of how funny these concepts were, that I was like, back then I just kind of threw it in there because I didn't know what else to do for the sound.
Did you ever see, somebody commented on one of the old Poor 4 cartoons, I think it was the compilation of, like, shorts. They just said, like, when did this become the funniest thing ever? And that's like a great way to put, like, those old Pro 4 cartoons are, you can see, like, the DNA of your modern self, where, like, they are so funny unintentionally, like how they just fucking end with, like the Sparta remix playing over Windows Movie Maker credits.
Yes. That's good. Before I completely forget, I need to say this phrase that one of my best friends, Kilburn, said. She's one of the, like, main masterminds behind the Binding of Isaac Repentance, and he was in charge of Anti-Birth, basically. There's this thing that she says that he wrote, that he saw in, like, a forum post on Facepunch, that somebody, I don't know if it was Facepunch, but somebody said, somebody was ranting, and at the end, and they weren't very good at English, and at the end, because this was like the 2000s, they said, "This is epic fail Sparta," and that really they really stuck to Kill, and it really stuck to me. That is a really funny phrase that I try to use whenever I can.
This is epic fail Sparta. Have you used that in something you've like posted before? Because I feel like I've heard that.
I'm pretty sure I did. I tried to have any excuse to say, "This is epic fail Sparta."
This is epic fail Sparta.
It's for sure like a Ceda line.
Yeah, it's stuff that, like, stuff like that will, like, really. I kind of have the same problem where I think I get off to continuity too much, but, like, in the way that I really love the idea of, I am in my Halloween hack phase of being a creator. I made a fucking weird-ass Super Paper Mario mod called Partially Relio, and that's, like, my Halloween hack, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm currently building up my repertoire, making fucking videos and shit. And then eventually I'm gonna release my Undertale, and I know what my Undertale is gonna be. I know the game that I want to make, that is a big project. And so I've kind of gotten off on planting seeds that I know I will grow later, and I think this can be for better and for worse. There's a bit in Relio that literally is only gonna make sense if I ever make the fucking retro FPS I've been trying to make for like 6 years now.
Yeah, the long game is risky, that is.
Yeah. Long game is tricky, but it's so satisfying to pull off because like the joke to me, and I think you are someone that understands how funny this is like, you're playing fucking Deltarune Chapter 7 and there's a reference to, like, some shit Toby Fox made when they were like 12 years old.
Yeah.
Putting a direct thorough line between your entire body of work like that, I think is really, not only just really satisfying as a fan, but also can be really funny if you made stupid shit when you were a kid, like the stupid quiz.
Yeah. The stupid quiz I had to rename last minute because I googled it and found out that there's a really popular game at the time called Stupid Quiz. So I had to rename it to Random Quiz. Although I didn't rename it that I didn't rename it in, like, the end screen where it refers to itself as the Stupid
Classic.
Quiz. So I just made my own video game set look like a re-upload that used the wrong title.
That's really good. Okay, so that's the really early shit. And then what was after? When did you start making, like, kind of realish games?
I think so. In about the very end of 2013, my friend. It's complicated, but I'm not in contact with them. I don't anymore. I don't know where they went. But my friend Luz started making Mario Obama because of a joke I made on stream, and I wanted in on that, and it kind of went nowhere. because development hell reasons, because it was my first like proper try at a game that wasn't some flash game that I made all by myself.
Let's put like a bit more context in there. What is Mario Bama? What was it going to be? What was the impetus of the bit?
Mario Bama was a was like a Mario fan game that starred some guy that's a combination of Mario and Obama.
Some guy.
And it's just like it's kind of like normal Mario, if anybody knows what that is. And that's kind of it. It was just supposed to be like shitposty, somewhat trippy, because of Harvey had already made the music, the shitposty music that he makes beforehand, because he's always making that sort of thing back then. So Luz was like, hey, I could use this for the really weird, stupid Mario Obama video game, because that kind of matches the tone. So, like, even from back then, the entire video game was made around the soundtrack Harvey made. But it just kind of never manifested, and it's probably because of me and being kind of, like, overbearing. So, sorry, everyone.
I know how it be.
It was also kind of like, maybe it was going through like feature creep and it was a little too ambitious for like a joke game. Like, again, normal Mario is like a game that you beat in like 15 minutes. We should have just stuck to that, but you know. So it was just kind of like that. I have a video that I honestly, I don't know what Luz's vision was. And I was not very good at like understanding what they were saying. So I made my best guess for what Mario Obama was supposed to look like in like a rough draft video that I made during Ceda's development. I don't know if you ever saw that, but the people listening sure as shit aren't gonna see it.
I don't remember seeing that. What was it, like an intro cutscene, or was it like a synopsis?
No, it wasn't an intro cutscene. What I did was, I took gameplay footage of a Mario 3 level that had like and because it's Mario 3, like most of the backgrounds are just a solid color. I green screened out that solid color and replaced in the background I replaced it with tributes to gas.
Tributes to gas?
Yeah, tribute to gas. It's a classic Ice Snort video.
Oh, right.
The YouTuber that made the Moonchild stuff, the shitposts.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, he did kind of blow up for the Moonchild stuff. I love Ice Snort. He makes he has a yearly tradition of making like Snow Miser YTPs called Smiser, and I am on that shit every year. I love it.
I'm actually really impressed by those. It's like, it makes like dozens and dozens of those every year.
Yeah, it's really cool stuff. I really love Ice Snort.
Yeah. Oh wait, I was looking at the wrong fucking folder. I can send it to you, but I described it. It's just like, you go on Google, look up tributes to gas, and you look for the video that was made by Ice Snort, and just imagine Mario 3 footage green screened over that, and that's what I think the Mario Obama experience was supposed to be like.
I like it. Hold on, let me click on this. Oh my god. It's gonna be really quiet, but I am gonna put this in the edit because this is a really funny clip to imagine. Like, I know it's just just a thing that you would send to somebody, but I imagine this as like a boardroom of executives are watching this as like a pitch meeting for a game. This would be I would hate this. I would hate playing this. Man. This looks like the SpongeBob Patrick video.
But like, I think that's what it was supposed to be like, but I can never be sure because I never like got to ask. But it doesn't matter because that whole Mario Obama project got revived as Ceda, and that kind of went on a completely different direction.
Yeah, so tell me about the impetus of Ceda and how Mario Obama turned into it.
So in 2017, I had moved for the first time, and that was pretty great for me because I loved the independence. And I also got hired to work on Isaac at the time, which was, I was first doing like the booster packs for Afterbirth Plus, the later booster packs, and then did Repentance. So I got a job, I got my own house, I had a roommate. I was pretty much independent for the first time. So I was like, you know what? I feel so nice in my life right now that I'm just gonna try Mario Obama again with like somebody else. And that somebody else was Michael. And we were trying to figure out, like, I was trying to figure out the feel of the game using Mario Obama, but Mario Obama didn't really work out. So I think it was Michael that had the idea that it's like, actually, no, I don't think it was Michael. I think it was me that just said, fuck it, I'm just gonna use the Poor 4. As a kid, I always wanted to make a Poor 4 game. Why not just do that here? And then I did.
Yeah, and this was before This was before the revival, wasn't it? The new cartoons were made because of
No,
Ceda.
no, 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 no. The revival was officially in Poor 4 Origins, which I made because I was like, what if I made the Poor 4 cartoons today?
Okay, yeah.
And I did, and that was pretty fun. The Ceda revival, sort of, quote unquote, for rebooting Mario Obama as Ceda, I was already in development by the time I made the 10-year anniversary animation.
Hmm.
So around then, it's when I was like, you could kind of tell because Cheda's like design was a bit more finalized in those videos
Yeah,
because of how I would how he looks like in the video game.
yeah, for sure.
By the way, just because I said like at least there's Ceda Cedovic, which is the name of the Ceda game, um, it's a Mario like, just like Mario Obama. Don't get it wrong. Just because it's not as stupid and obnoxious as it is as the video I showed, that doesn't make it like it's not a normal game. It is normal gameplay wise, but visually and sound wise, it is not normal.
I love Cheddar a lot, and we can get into feelings about it in a bit. But like so the whole shtick of Cheddar is that like every level is based on an obscure piece of media. Tell me about like the impetus of that idea and like how it kind of codified.
Gabri, you're rubbing your hands. You're anticipating this. You fucking know the answer to this.
I'm not a little mosquito right now.
Person that was raised by mosquitoes. Listen,
You're a bitch. What the fuck? I come to this place and fucking give you a spot to advertise your fucking game, and you're like, you're just a little mosquito bitch baby,
You're a
aren't you?
mosquito.
You're a fucking little mosquito bitch baby, aren't you, little mosquito family? Tell me about the
okay,
impetus.
fine. Listen. Okay, the reason every level in Ceda is like a different video game or level is because I was inspired by bopping. Okay.
And like other stuff, right?
No, the whole like going between video games every level is just kind of a bopping thing.
Okay.
I don't know if there's anything else to it.
I think you said I want to be the guy at some
Oh,
point.
that's true. I wanted to it to basically be like kind of like I want to be the guy where it's a mishmash of various like retro things, right? Like I want to be the guy has various like NES and SNES stuff or whatever, like yeah, the retro stuff. And for Cheda, the idea was what if instead of like somebody's childhood, it was my childhood instead. And then I realized that my childhood is like the childhood games I had. It makes people go, "What the fuck is this?" I've never fucking heard this before. And so it gained this like the thing I pitched to myself for Cheda is Sonic Mania recently came out in 2017, and that game has callbacks in every fucking crack of the level design. That was really cool to me. That was like every fucking damn screen of that game has like a callback to classic Sonic. And I was like, what if I did Sonic Mania but for only one motherfucker and that's me?
I think that's awesome though. I think that that's a fucking great idea, and it brings out like
The most indulgent like video game ever.
I think it like, and I think that mindless indulgence can be obnoxious and bad,
If honed.
but the way Cheddar does it feels like so intentionally pointing towards a specific idea of this like tribute to things that shouldn't that aren't given tributes and arguably shouldn't.
Yeah.
Like the level based off like what's like that fucking sheep game that's in the shareware world?
Oh yeah, Sven Svu.
Yeah, that's like a game about sheep fucking, right?
Yeah, that's like back in the 2000s that was like a European game in like the 2000s and it was just like a sort of weird arcadey game where you're a black sheep and you walk up to white sheep and try to fuck them without getting like caught by the shepherd or whatever.
Yeah.
And then aliens come in.
And then aliens come in. Yeah. Yeah, it's a whole fucking game.
It's a video game.
There's so many fucking bizarre
Sure
things
leaves an
in it.
impact.
I think it's so awesome. I think it was so the way I describe it. I wrote a review on Backlog of it at some point, and I just described it as like it's like this celebration for the weird kid in the back of the class because I grew up on DOS games on my MacBook Pro.
Yeah.
Like I was playing fucking Commander Keen and like Epic Pinball on my shitty ass MacBook. And so I felt so seen by this. Even when I didn't get a game, it felt like such like a breath of fresh air to because this is my introduction to you was Chetha.
Yeah.
Um, and it just felt like this blast of like love towards corners that never got shown off. Nowadays there's a lot more nostalgia for like Newground stuff and like early internet stuff, but in 2020 it was not nearly as popular, and it still isn't, and still I think that Leather does it better than most people, um because of how much of like a genuine period piece it feels like. And Cheta like was so mind-blowing to a little Babu Gabri,
Yeah.
of like someone's finally speaking up for the fucking weird kids that went on like niche YouTube rabbit holes and played weird old PC games. I think everybody that played it had that one thing that they also knew of that like broke them when they saw it. I had a friend who was huge into the stick figure community,
Yeah.
and when they saw the stick figures on crack level, they screamed.
That's so good, mate.
Yeah. And I have a very before we became friends, I have this very special memory of one of our only interactions was on the dev commentary stream of Cheda. I told you that I recognized this level based on Snoopy 1.0,
Yeah.
which is like a fan reimagining of the Commodore 64 Snoopy game.
Yeah, it was speed ran recently.
I was about to say, did you see the fucking speedrun? It's awesome.
Yeah. I'm glad. I'm just glad more people know about it, because then I get to be obnoxious in the comments and say, "Do you know somebody for some reason remade this game in 2004?"
Yeah, for some reason that's like a fan remake of Snoopy 1.0, and basically I said in the chat like, oh yeah, Snoopy's iconic to me. I recognize the lasers and skulls immediately, and you and Michael were like, Gabri, what are you talking about? You are crazy. What kind of fucking drugs are you on to be able to catch this shit? And then Michael said, and we can, and then Michael was like, yeah, you can go make the Jolly game with Leather.
Right, the Jolly game. Fuck, what were we talking about?
We were just talking about Chet though. We were talking about like the whole shtick of it being a send up to things, and like.
Oh yeah, right. So the reason I wanted so many obscure things is because it's a really funny concept to have Sonic Mania, but for one person. And it ties back into the Ross's Game Dungeon Eternum thing, where he interpreted as jokes that he doesn't get as still funny because he's so confused by them.
Which is exactly what Shadow does.
Yeah, it's like, that's kind of my niche in general. I just like baffling people more than I like being like funny or whatever.
I love it.
I think being baffling is funny because I myself find baffling humor really, really funny. So whenever it's very rarely I come across baffling humor, but when I do, I find it really, really funny.
Like, what was the? I was trying to find a Tumblr post that I know you reblogged. It was the one of the scene in Ferris Bueller's Day Off where they're at the art museum.
Yeah.
But the painting is replaced with like a really crusty JPEG of Daffy Duck
From like some
and
video
like
game.
Cameron is like looking at the fucking painting like in awe, and it just zooms in on the fucking Daffy Duck JPEG, and he's like screaming. That's what I feel like I need to do a reference to myself, because that's like a very memorable visual of just like staring at a JPEG like a piece of art.
It's the entire thing of me and my video games is that I take stupid shit seriously. So it's like, I think this all happened because one of my I found the video that I saw, but the reason this is so funny to me is because this is one of the first videos I saw on YouTube, which is really funny because it was a compilation of 2 clips from Yu-Gi-Oh! The Abridged series. But the thing, I didn't know what Yu-Gi-Oh! The Abridged series was. I didn't know what Shoop the Whoop was. I didn't know what the Laser Collection was. I think I barely knew what pornography was. And the clip that they show is Windows Movie Maker text scrolling up that says Exodia obliterate blah, and then it shows the clip where he summons Exodia, and then Exodia does the shoop da whoop, which was already like confusing to me because I have no idea what shoop da whoop is. And then the guy falls, and then Joey falls on the ground. It's like, ow, this hologram inexplicably hurt me. And then the screen fades to black, comes back in with like the bad guy of the series drawn in crusty flash, holding like a porn magazine, and he goes, this pornography is really good. And then Dr. Octagonopus comes in, says Dr. Octagonopus, and fucking blasts him with a laser. I laughed so hard because what the fuck is happening?
Just this feels like, you know, the fucking I don't know if you saw the Backrooms movie, but it's like that scene where he's talking about, like, yeah, it's like if you tried to describe a dog to somebody and they drew it, but they don't know what a dog looks like, they can only go based off
Yeah.
of your description. Like it's like the like attempting to parse that while you have an extremely loose grasp on reality creates the funniest goddamn thing ever. I'm struggling to remember it, but I have had moments like that where things are infinitely funnier to me as a kid when I have no idea what the fuck they're
Yeah.
talking about.
I'm amazed I've been able to like hold on to that. I still have like that sort of whimsy that lets me just put myself in a situation. A lot of Hleb's writing is just sort of based on him misinterpreting everything, because that's sort of the point of my favorite like old GTA myth videos, because they would just think of ridiculous reasons for something happening,
Yeah.
and a lot of that is put into Hleb, and it's really like entertaining to write.
I really like Lev because we can talk more about myths later because we're still on Cheddar kind of, but I love Lev
Yeah.
not being like, you could very easily make him like a paranoid conspiracy theorist, but he's just kind of like a guy that just like is a bit bad at interpreting things. He's just an autistic guy that really likes taking photos of myths, and it causes him to have a hard time understanding things. I fucking love the joke in the secret final boss. Yeah, I guess we're gonna completely just spoil everything on this podcast. By the way, go play Miss 100% True, where Pekarovich is like, you know, so it's something like, you need to learn the hard truth, kid, and then he goes, "There's a hard 100% true."
It's just him like misinterpreting a lot of things because his own it's kind of like his mouth is faster than his brain, and he always goes through his own interpretations first before thinking about like things from another perspective.
It's really good. I think one of my favorite things that would only make sense to you. Do you remember in Shareware there's like a fucking character called like Ragebot,
Yeah,
and they have like a you have like a fun fact about them that like I constantly fucking think about because it's so specific.
yeah.
It's the one about like they have like a dead pixel on their monitor, right? Because like,
Oh yes, of course. It's not a dead pixel; it's discolored. See, when I was a kid and we had those like fat ass computer monitors that like the kids love putting on robots' heads right now. God bless them. Got some use out of them. As a kid, I don't remember if it was me or my brother accidentally put a toy magnet at the side of the computer, and then he immediately removed it. But the edge of the screen was permanently discolored to be a slightly colder color. So all instances of red on the screen are made like orange. And I put that on like the sprite of the Ragebot, who also has a TV head, monitor head, whatever. Listen, I robot with monitor head, and it also has that discoloration as a reference to this specific childhood event that only happened to me.
that's exactly what I'm talking about. Of like that story is so funny because you literally nobody could understand this but you. It is a joke. It is a joke for specifically you, and I think that as a joke of, oh, like what the. I think that is a joke of like, the meta joke is that you will learn that story and go, nobody in the fucking planet could know that but Leather,
Yeah,
is the joke, and I think that's like deep layers of obfuscation that I think is
it's also human. So
the robot.
no, not the robot. Like it's a human thing to do.
Oh yeah, yeah. It like we just inherently we live lives, and it makes us think about things, and we put that into the things we make. And that's what I think makes Shredder so special. And like what we're here we've done like nothing but like talk about how cool Cheddar is, but I think you do have like, you know, in retrospect I know you have problems with it that you can talk about.
I mean, I could technically talk about Ceda a lot because I worked on that game a lot, so I have much to say. But I think the main problem with Ceda is that if you took away all the music and all the visuals and all the writing and all that stuff, it's just kind of Mario again. Which is, I mean, that's fine for like a Mario-like game, but it's not like I spent 2.5 years on that. It's like it's kind of hard to go to the serious indie game developers and be like, yeah, one of my cornerstone video games is Mario again.
Is Mario but for like weird kids. Yeah.
Yeah, but like they don't. They're fucking indie game devs. They don't care about the fucking visuals and like the audio and stuff. They care about how the gameplay and what makes the gameplay unique complements why the visuals and the music are unique.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like, this is a problem with Cheddar, but I also think that like I my two things about it is that it is also like a very hardcore Mario experience. Cheddar is fucking hard, especially if you play with lives on, and I think that's awesome. And I think that having
Yeah.
a ball busting Mario game is very cool. And I think that that gives it a reason to exist on its own. It would be better if it was more original, obviously, but will be better if it was more original in a way that made it fun. But like, you know what I mean? Of like, if you had I would not be complaining
Yeah.
if it was an entirely like distinct gameplay loop. I would not be going, I wish it was a Mario clone. My second thing is also that I like.
I wish it was more like Mario.
Luigi is my brother.
Luigi, is that you?
Yeah. My main thing is also that like as I got really into it because I have character representation autism. I came from a community of making fan-made Smash Brothers movesets, and that is stuck with me for the rest of my fucking life. That is my forever curse. Is that my omega autism hyperfixation special interest is character representation, and what if you put X into Y? And Cheddar has that in fucking spades, where it's, oh, we need like a bullet bill equivalent. Let's think of what thing we can pull from like our lives to make a bullet bill clone.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
We need an enemy like this, and what's a thing we can put in to be like that? I want a level game like this.
Yeah.
What do we reference with that? I think that's so fucking awesome, and I think you can still definitely do that in a more original game. But I think that it having 2D Mario as a base is really cool.
I was about to say that was fun to do. My favorite example is I needed to do thwomps. What do I replace thwomps with? Oh, the burgers from Stick Figures on Crack 3.
Yeah, there we go.
Because they fall on because the entire gag is that they're giant burgers that fall onto the little stickman and it crushes them.
Yeah, stuff like that.
It just makes sense.
Yeah, it's great.
But it's even better, and this is like a recent joy I came up with, and the best example I can say to this is the first boss of Mugenics. Because Mugenics is like a sort of Fire Emblem top-down turn-based RPG sort of thing. And the first boss is just Mauser from Mario 2 implemented into that format. So it's like, it's not like replacing an existing mechanic, it's trying to translate a mechanic from a completely different genre into this one and making something new. Like it combined Mauser from Mario 2, it combined it with Bomberman, and in that context, it changes a lot because it's not just like you're trying to dodge X-cross explosions, you're trying to plan around it. So it's like you don't get caught in the explosion radius, and you still try to position yourself to actually attack the boss. And I find that even more interesting.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But that's like a flavor thing.
Yeah, I like that. It's all just like, you know, trying to fit a square peg in a round hole, and I think that's like some of the most pure design you can do. Of we have this thing, and we need to get it into this thing. What do we do? And character representation is like my most like brain tingly part of that, favorite part of that.
That's a lot of in like Smash Brothers does that a lot, of course, because it's trying to take characters from all sorts of video games and try to translate them into a platform brawler,
Plat fighter,
which is really interesting. It requires a lot. Listen, I don't. I haven't won a single fighting game in my life. Okay.
I just noticed you said plat brawler because of my Kirby video, and I laughed.
They're all the same words to me. I'm sorry, everyone. But what I'm saying is it's very interesting still.
Yeah, it appeals a lot to me, and a lot of the stuff that I do now is like just based upon that core kernel of when I was fucking 12 years old. I was making fan-made Smash Brothers movesets for stupid like obscure video games and like YouTube videos I liked.
Yeah.
And now I make it a video game.
Yeah.
And I think that that was definitely a huge piece of inspiration for that. And I think that like I think like because it was like it kind of spawned like a new generation of leather ice cream fans, people like me that like mostly know you
Ah,
as the Cheddar guy initially. Because I watched me and my sister, my sister Emily, she fucking loves what's it called, Fly Out.
that's
That
a
was like
great
her
video.
favorite video when she was
That's a
younger.
great
Yeah,
video.
it's which I didn't. This is the most fucking leather ice cream thing ever. I did not realize until a few years after I saw it that it's an animation. The audio is from like this weird machinima series called
Yes.
Spore Out.
Yeah, it's Sporo. That's a great series. It's old as fuck. It's like a machinima series. I think it's from like 2010, and I fucking loved it. It's basically like a machinima, so it's like in engine, but it's an in engine of like Fallout 3. But there's a character in there that's like a green screened creature from Spore, and throughout the entire thing, instead of doing like voice acting, they did like YouTube poop sentence mixing, which I'd never seen before used in that context. And this was before I saw like the Gmod TF2 videos, where that became kind of standard.
It's so good.
Yeah, and that became my hyperfixation. And then I was like, combine this fixation with Isaac, which is my current fixation, and there you go, Fly Out exists.
Yeah.
And it only exists because the fucking spore creature says something that sounds like, I'm Duke. So it's like, oh, the Duke of Flies, of course, from the
It's so
Blarble
fucking
games.
stupid, but that's awesome.
It's so good. It's a sort of magical thing that like fucking like between like 15 and 20-year-olds do, where it's like they combine the two fixations as an artist. People are doing that with fucking myths right now.
I
So
have seen that. I do see a lot of
yeah,
very beautifully brain rotted myths fans, and I think that's beautiful. I think that's beautiful flowers.
it is beautiful.
Have you
Beautiful flowers.
you've seen that
The
image, right?
fat, disgusting nickel.
You've seen beautiful. Have I shown you? You might have reblogged it. It's the image of the guy going like hold up his right in his fire, but it's the Metal Mario texture, and it's hold up. He's actually beautiful flowers.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Wait a minute, he's beautiful
Hold
flowers.
up. He's actually beautiful flowers.
I remember that. That's good. That's also based off like an obscure trivia fact about how the Metal Mario
Yeah.
texture is just like a stock image of flowers.
That's that is literally like our sense of humor, which is very like specific in jokes on top of in jokes, building. So like you need to be such a specific kind of person to laugh at that image, because you need to know niche Mario 64 trivia and also know the his right and his this fire meme. And so when we reference it, it's like this like again layers of abstraction. I wrote something last week where there's a joke where it's like a small thing, but a character talks about the beautiful flowers dance coming up next week.
Oh yeah, yeah, makes sense. There's a lot of stuff like that. Like I don't know if there's any in Ceda, but the only thing that comes up to me like small inconsequential thing is the location names in myths. Like when you die, you can see like what location the level it takes place in.
Yeah.
And there's like a whole load of shit like in one of the later levels, it's called the location that you die in is called not that you die in. That when you get a game over, it says that the location is called Here It's Cool District.
Oh, ball knowledge. I know that reference.
Everybody keeps saying ball knowledge to the point where it just sounds like Isaac in the Binding of and the Isaac of Isaac re-Isaac. Like it's just like wow, you know so many obscure things. I'm like 30. I had like 30 years to learn obscure things.
Yeah, here
But
it's
it's
cool.
like here it's. You explain it. You're the Rayman girl.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Here it's cool is there's like this old magazine ad for Rayman 1 where it says that the original story of the game, and we fairly recently got the 30th anniversary edition, which gave us the initial design docs, so we're able to know more about this. But the game was originally about a boy named Jimmy who has a computer with a land in it named Here It's Cool.
Yeah. That's such a like weird and interesting name to me.
It's great. It's so fucking bizarre. And like Mr. Dark, the villain of the game, was a computer virus. And if you see in the game over screen of Rayman 1, you can see a graffiti that says "Fight the Virus." That's because of Mr. Dark being originally
That's
computer
like
virus.
Weirdo shit. That's like that's that Rayman shit where it's like I kind of don't understand why they did this. And it's not always a positive thing, but you know, the artists gotta do what they gotta do. Also, it's called Here It's Cool District. because one of the big inspirations for that level in particular was the Violence District from LSD Dream Emulator.
Oh, what stage was that?
It's Kiss That Asphalt. It's second top case.
Oh, right, yeah, 6-2. Oh yeah, I can see that. That's really funny.
Yeah, that's also why there's like the ambient sound is literally just an occasional like sound of a rock thrown in a puddle, because like that's the sound LSD Dream Emulator uses when you're near a water.
And that really got kind of we should talk about we haven't talked about Bone.exe at all. That feels like an
Oh
important
right,
step.
we skipped from fucking from the random quiz straight to fucking at least there's Ceda Cedovic.
Yeah, important middle note is the two Bone.exe and Spears and Spades, which are
They're video games. Bone.exe is special because it was my first quote-unquote proper video game. It's the first one where I worked with a coder. Like it's the first game that it's like I feel like goes beyond basic mechanics that I could manage on my own in Adobe Flash using ActionScript. So because I had a proper programmer that did it in GameMaker, I could be a little bit more loosey-goosey. So obviously it was just Mega Man ripoff. I could imagine anything, and of course in that period of my artistic career it was to imagine something else and just like make it funny.
We all have that phase.
Yeah, tell me about it. But that's a good game. Actually, it's funny that you mentioned like the riskiness of having like the long callback period, because in Bone.exe there are a bunch of statues that represent future video games or video games that I previously did. And I think one of them is even Voltage Starving. And one of the future video game statues was like Chlev's gun and hat, which aged poorly because that motherfucker doesn't have a gun no more.
He turned it into a camera for fun.
It's an absurd like abstract thing to replace just like a gun with something else. Yeah, no, I'm a flowery hippie bullshit, you know how it is.
Yeah.
So that's one thing from Bone.exe that's interesting. Also, Not Your Sagittarius did the versus portraits of the bosses in Bone.exe, so that's really fucking cool. Best art in the game.
You should describe what it is aesthetically, because that's probably important.
Aesthetically, there was back in like 2014. There were a lot of those .exe games that were just trying to be Sonic.exe, and that game was going to make fun of it by visually making fun of it by making it look like MS Paint bullshit, but it had like actual good gameplay, hopefully.
That was the idea.
So it was just gonna be my epic ode to all these fucking shitty, low effort video games, because I didn't find any of the actual good ones, but don't tell them that. So I just really felt like, wow, I feel so superior for making fun of these guys.
You made a lot of videos about making fun of creepypasta. You have like a long connection to creepypasta.
Yeah, I mean, I just really like creepypastas, and it doesn't come off that way because I kept making fun of them. In my new videos, I actually like display my true feelings a bit more, which is that I find them interesting and funny in how creative and specific some things are, which it is very inspirational for me. That's kind of the main point of creepypastas.
Oh, absolutely.
For me, at least.
I love the one that I keep thinking about is the GTA one you did, where as like a note, it could maybe be a troll, but it's like believably insane, where the guy just mentions, oh yeah, I got a job as the CEO of Ubisoft.
Yeah, that's a fucking funny one. And of course a lot of the jokes. This is also something I got from Ross's Game Dungeon, which is that really absurd concepts just roll off me and I treat it as somewhat normal. That's kind of the joke, which is that like, yeah, of course. I just like take the artist's word for it and keep going with that. And that can also be funny because it's like now I'm applying more sane logic to something that's inherently ridiculous, which kind of ties back into more of the things I do as an artist, tying back into the like treating stupid things seriously thing.
Yeah, 100%. I love old creepypastas because it literally is just like this like Wild West thing where so many fucking funny sentences are just said and forgotten about. It feels like the modern equivalent of the thing of like, "Hi, I'm Rod Sterling." You know what the fuck was that about?
Yeah.
Or it's like I love in Dead Bart, um, the original Dead Bart at like
Oh, this is gonna
tries
be
to
good.
like Dead Bart is I love the part where the guy like confronts Matt Groening about Dead Bart and he starts crying and hands him like a VHS tape or some shit and it's like, you need to destroy this.
No, 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 no. It was a USB stick.
Right, it was a USB stick. And didn't it like corrupt his hard drive or something? Like Matt Groening put a virus on it.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh well, but at least I saved the video."
It's so fucking funny. And
No, it's so fucking weird. It's like he got a USB drive. The USB drive had a link to a website. The website is nothing but a blank page with a download button. He downloads the thing. It crashes his computer, but the video he downloaded from that is Dead Bart.
and then at the end, it's like a bunch of gravestones of like every Simpsons celebrity and like their deaths, and like some of them are like celebrities that haven't died yet when the fucking creepypasta was written. So it's like predicting the future.
And the date is all the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like a kind of cool concept. It's like, oh shit, the apocalypse is gonna happen.
that like singular idea of like, oh shit, there's gonna be an apocalyptic event as predicted by this is like kind of cool, but it's in fucking Dead Bart, and the idea of like, because like I can understand, okay, because Simpsons season 1 is weird, so I can suspend my disbelief and go, oh, they tried doing a really fucking weird episode, but then they try to do some weird like they definitely were inspired by like the bit of like, oh, you gotta leave him with a twist at the end, and so the twist is that they're fucking predicting the future of like celebrities that were on the show that weren't even on the show when the episode came out, so they were playing on the shit on the long run.
That kind of implies that Matt Groening was going around trying to make those dates real.
Matt Groening got connections.
That's fucked up. You can't be saying that, white baby. Oh,
he's
man.
like the Grim fucking Reaper. That's incredible. Yeah, that just kind of like drop that shit. Anyway, I'm Rod Sterling is great, and I love the pseudo career you've built off of that kind of thing, and that would eventually the character of Bone.exe, Jump Scare the Skeleton, does appear in Ceda as a through line.
I mean, it's just like, I think by the time it's just really weird because by the time I finished Ceda, I kind of got just sick of the multiverse thing. So I kind of stopped since then. I was like, the only thing that I brought back in Myths is just like kind of similar designs, but the only thing I brought back wholesale is like the trash bugs.
And there's a connection between Yeet and Boy.
Oh yeah, there is. It's just kind of like, it's like a neat thing between Ceda and Myths, where it's kind of like a sequel. Okay, well, what I found nice about Myths is that, well, I have to sell this for money, so I can't be doing the Ceda thing. So I don't remember what inspired me. I think, yes, okay, so this is good. Back then, when I finished Ceda, there were only like demo builds of Pizza Tower. And one of the builds of Pizza Tower was like the Sage demo.
Yeah.
That had like Snick. And when you beat all the levels, you unlock like Snick.exe mode. And there's like a .exe version of Snick that slowly like moves towards you as you like play a level. And if he touches you, you die. But if you're like attacking, you can reset his position. And back then, I thought that was kind of incredible because they just put like, again, it's the thing that we were talking about earlier. They put a mechanic from a completely different genre of video game, which is like shitty horror, and put it into like a Wario Land like. And that was really interesting to me. And also, it's obvious what the like character is supposed to be, but it's still different enough to be its own thing and also dodges lawyers. So I became really fascinated with that concept. And I did a lot of that in Myths, and that was actually more fun than just straight up putting like existing characters into this video game, which I know is a bit of a shame for you, but you know.
No, I love the super myths.
Yeah, the super myth.
I have crossover autism, but I also love the super myths a lot. The kids would call them gijinkas of various failed video games.
That's what I call them.
That's fair enough. Yeah, but we can before we get into that, we can what did you do after Ceda?
We still haven't finished Bone or Ceda.
What did you do after Ceda?
Well, I had to finish Repentance.
Oh yeah, the Repentance, and then kind of like because around this time, I'll let you like fully explain it, but you then kind of went back to Bone.exe with the sequel.
Oh yeah, I made a sequel to Bone.exe, and it was called Bone2.exe, and it was much the same, except that I actually really put a lot of effort into how the game looks. It looks kind of like clean. But I still tried to make it look all MS Painty. But I kind of failed that, and I only realized why I failed at the end of development, which is that I should have drawn the entire game with the mouse.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
But I drew it with a pen, so it's like looks really like clean and sharp, and like it's trying to look like MS Paint, but it's like done too well. So it's like I think it would have really helped if I drew with a mouse, so that it's a lot like those like Sonic fan games from the 2000s that were made by like 13-year-olds, which is like the primary inspiration for the game's look.
Yeah, so and I think that like because Bone.exe, Bone 1 is very like sarcastic and like, oh, I'm better than you towards creepypastas.
Yeah.
And then Bone 2 kind of subverts that.
Yeah, because kind of reflects me as a person into Jumpscare the Skeleton, which is because Bone2.exe, from the story standpoint, is scathing criticism of my old creepypasta reviews, where I'm like, calm down, you're not the nostalgia critic. These are fucking fan fictions that people like put hours of effort into online for free. Let's fucking calm down here now.
There's a great moment where Mr. Mix just fucking goes off on Jumpscare, and it does feel like a very interesting moments when you know what the history of the Bone games are like, and just the history of your fucking channel.
It really comes down to the fact that, and this is also a theme in myths as well, but everything that's made is kind of a small miracle. Frankly, there's no reason to make art technically. So the fact that anybody is making anything, again, a miracle, especially a video game, which is like a very hard thing to make as well.
Yeah. 6 miracles in one.
Yeah. And writing creepypastas also is like, it's not worth the ire I was giving them back then, right? Just because somebody wrote a creepypasta that's like, okay, maybe if it's offensive, and
maybe if it's
that you've crossed a line.
Maybe if it's edited Eddie the Lost Episode.
Yeah, that's like, again, I like the term insane pasta, where it's just like a bad fever dream.
I love
stuff like that, because it's like that's where like a lot of inspiration comes from. It's like these weird abstract weird ideas that inspire me, but it is also fucking in poor taste.
And it's also funny because we were talking about broken English earlier, and there's a great creepypastas can also be a great look into amateur writing, where like I love there's parts of the creepypasta where like the quality gets worse on the animation of like, oh, like it gets like blurry or pixelated or something, and then in order to say that like the blur goes away, they say the quality is perfect, and you really dig into that in your video of like, oh man, everyone who saw this mortified, but that one shot where the quality was perfect.
Can I be so for real with you?
Yeah,
I had no idea that's what they meant. It makes so much sense that when they said the quality is now perfect, that means it's unblurred now. I did not know that until this very moment. That makes a whole lot of sense. I thought the fucking animators put their entire pussy into this thing for no reason.
Just like fucking like one of those like you know those clips people post on Twitter of like, why is the animation so good, but it's like for edited Eddie the Lost Episode.
Oh, that's really good. Oh, Studio Ghibli don't make food like this anymore.
Why does creepypasta food look so good?
Oh, that Naz's head is fresh as fuck. I'm gonna eat that in one bite. I'm gonna have small fucking human mole eyes or something.
but but why does blank room soup food look so good? Fuck.
I feel like that's an image that already exists. I think that's really good.
I love the there's so dude, the fucking Studio Ghibli food. I've seen a lot of memes of that. That's like one of those memes that, like, it's not a big meme, but it's a big meme in my heart of why does Studio Ghibli food look so good. I saw a really good one of, like, have you seen why does Studio Ghibli food look so scary?
Yeah, and it's like fucking screams and stuff.
It's just like scary music playing over like Studio Ghibli fucking animation of like someone cooking, and it's just like screams and like scary music and like stock sound effects. It's really funny. Oh my god. No, yeah, like as when you're younger, and this is, I can speak from personal experience because I also have gone through this arc, is when you're younger you kind of see amateurish bad things and you don't have the emotional intelligence to separate it from something that is offensively bad.
Yeah.
And so the wires kind of get crossed, and you have vitriol towards something that does not deserve vitriol. Especially when it's like considered an acceptable target, it can really feed into a bad worldview that I think it's very clear that, like, again, Bone 2 is kind of a conversation about this. I had a very personal relationship with this idea because I'm autistic, obviously, and I made a video about a subset of YouTube videos I was into, which is the with lyric videos scene. But it came out, the intention was to be like a Chazington-esque, like, lighthearted, this is this weird thing that I like, and it's kind of silly, but I have a lot of appreciation for it, because I was a fucking fangirl of most of these people that I talk about in the video. And I still like a lot of them. But it comes off as, you say nostalgia critic, I think that's a good comparison. It's very ranty in a way that I don't like. I make a lot of jokes that I would never make now. It feels like a different person wrote it because I was trying to ape a style, but the way that Chazington makes a video is he kind of presents himself as the village idiot of, like, this is my dumb ass eats this shit up like candy, and so when he doesn't like something, it's very clear that he's speaking to it as the village idiot. And I presented myself as kind of above them, which I wasn't. I had I had like 500 subscribers before I put out the video, so it was punching up still, but in my heart, in the way I think about it is that I think in a way, if you're going after small-ish creators like this that can very easily see the video, it still feels like punching down and bullying in a way that just feels unnecessary, and so I have heavily attempted to rectify that and don't really like making jokes and observations the way I do in the with lyrics video, and I see a lot of parallels to that with the way you talk about creepypastas now, of like it goes from this childlike anger towards something stupid to an appreciation of it for the warts and all.
Technically, on paper, right? Creepypastas are supposed to be scary, but I never really did. I find very few of them scary. So, but like the reason I like them is mostly because of the creativity that's in them. It, like, again, it inspires me. It has really weird ideas that I think are supposed to be weird because it's like horror.
Yeah.
And like weirdness can be scary when put into correct context.
Yeah.
It can also be really funny when put into correct contexts, which is kind of why you kind of hear sometimes people say that like comedy and horror are like cousins.
Yeah, that's something that I talk about in the Ribbit video, exactly.
Yeah. And that's kind of like a niche that like creepypastas have that I enjoy, which is No, I was basically on fucking autopilot saying that. I just spewed out words that mean nothing. That is not what I meant at all. See, I'm still struggling with being genuine, you know? I like creepypastas because they have interesting fucking ideas in them, even though they're not, like, always scary. Like, again, one of my best friends, Kilburn, again, big fan of SCPs. And he's a complete pussy, so she's scared of a lot of things. So, but SCPs, they're fine. They're good. Actually, it's because of her that I heard about, Like he basically read the lore about myths, especially from the statues and stuff. Read that writing, and then she was like, this reminds me of SCP-6001. And then I read SCP-6001, and sure enough, kind of a similar concept. Shit's in harmony and it's whimsical in sort of way.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I mean, there's an SCP for that. It's like basically like a low budget horror version of there's an XKCD comic for that. If you really think about it.
I don't think that SCP wasn't even horror. It was just like weird. There's a lot of SCPs that are just kind of like weird. Like there's an SCP that's just like half a cat. Like not like cut in half. It's just like the other half is in another dimension. That's it.
It's great. It's like that one again. It's like, what was that shit? Anyway, I'm Rod Sterling. Where it's like I know that there's some shit on there. Not like bad shit, but just like there's some shit on there in like a weird way. I remember a friend. I don't talk to this friend anymore, so I don't feel bad about saying this. They were like really into gender bending, like transformation, and they showed me like, hey, check out this SCP, and it's like an SCP that's a mannequin that like changes your sex.
Okay.
And like it's very specifically written, so it's like, oh, it's it turns you into the gender you want to be, and it's like, okay, so this is like not even horror. This is just your pervert fantasy, which you can do. I mean, you can put that on the wiki. I can't. It's not my jurisdiction. You can put that on if you want.
Yeah.
But like, I just think it's funny that like it's so clearly not even literally just the writer's fetish. It's not even disguised, and so you could just put it's just a weird fucking concept that you can just put on there.
Yeah, that's not even as good as the other SCP that like my friend told me about, which is like she remembers an SCP that read a long time ago that was basically like, was it the goddess of beauty? Like it was Aphrodite, right? Aphrodite was just written as an SCP like a decade or more ago, and it was just like a lot of it was like a god that's angry because to put it bluntly, he transitioned into a man, but everybody keeps worshiping him as a woman.
Oh wow, that is a really interesting idea. Wow.
Yeah. Might be a little better than the mannequin one. but I can't say for sure. I have not read either.
Yeah, we're a bunch
That's kind of an important thing.
Bunch of fucking larp so whores over here.
God,
I don't like using the term
sounds.
LARP. I don't like using the term LARP unironically, but I think using it as a joke is really funny, especially the term LARP so whore, like ton so
LARP,
whore.
LARP. Okay, that is kind of funny, but it's like
yeah, see, you get it. Fucking LARP so whore over here.
It's whatever. It's just like over time it'll just kind of pass as a lot of words do.
Yeah,
it's fine. I've been through all sorts of shit. I was in the swag war, whatever.
Oh my god. Okay, so yeah, Bone2.exe, and then what happened after that? Because I think the next step is really important.
Bone2.exe. I think after Bone2.exe, I kind of realized the thing I said that I criticized Ceda for, which is that the core gameplay mechanic is just sort of a thing that already exists, and there's not that much unique added to it. So it's basically like I was putting myself as a person into the aesthetics and music of a game. Like, okay, art and music is just all aesthetics and writing and all that.
Yeah.
But the core mechanics aren't me. They're somebody else's idea from like 40 years ago, and it's doesn't really complement the aesthetics or whatever. So back in like 2003,
yeah,
I was raking my head over like, how do I turn my personality into gameplay mechanics? And I went through over that a ton, including like trying to come up with something for Myths Are 100% True, because I really needed to start thinking of a game that would actually make money. But until then, I was like trying to find programmers for a new game, and I figured I'd do that by just working on them on like a really short project. And the first one I got to do it was with Clay, which ended up making Myths, and I figured out this idea where I basically made Hedgehog Dilemma for robots, which is a game based around the idea that like you have to get close to enemies, but not so close that they hurt you.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like the reason for the title. That's the Hedgehog's Dilemma. Two hedgehogs get too close, their needles hurt each other, but if they're too far, then they can't warm each other up. So they have to like stand in this perfect Goldilocks zone, which is also why the protagonist is called Goldie.
Yeah, it's a just like a very simple arcade game. I played it when it came out. It was very
The
cool.
only problem is it has the exact opposite of problem of Ceda, which is I do not put a lot of my personality into it, except
That is something I noticed is that there's a lot of small little aesthetic notes that I took of like, oh, that's a very cute leather thing, but like it mostly is just like like it does kind of feel like an old Flash game in like a way of like one of those really clean Flash games that would like hit the front
yeah.
page.
Although it did hit the front page,
Oh yeah, it did.
so
W.
that's cool. I
Yeah.
always wanted to be on the front page of Newgrounds since I made the random quiz. I guess that's that childhood goal done. There's also like, but there are still like small things. Like I wanted to add in ridiculousness, so the radar doesn't have like Arabic numerals 0, 1, 2, 3 that you usually use. It's just like Roman numerals. And the Roman numerals have negative versions, and that's kind of a hinting towards like, okay, maybe whatever scientists are doing this are not the most competent, which is relevant for the ending. But there are the thing that is of mine that I did put in there is the enemy names, which is they're named after scary, at the time unknown sounds that they recorded either in the ocean or space, mostly the ocean. And it's like it's something you go on google.com and you look up like top 15 scariest sounds from the sea or the space.
This is the Hlevin you talking right now.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why like Myths is kind of like the first game that it's like it's both. It's both a unique it's both unique core mechanic and both a unique aesthetic that's like me. So it's kind of frankly another miracle.
Yeah.
Even though every video game is kind of a miracle when you think about it. But the point is, I named all the enemies after like unknown sounds. Like I knew I wanted the final scariest enemy in the game to be called Julia because that's like the most famous one, the famous scary sound from the ocean. But then there's also, you know, obscure ones like Upsweep and Train, and I forget what the first ones are called, but it's fine. People can forget things. Anyway, that's about it for Hedgehog Dilemma for Robots. Exact opposite problem of Ceda, but you know, I figured it out eventually. After that, I made New Ribbon Divide, which is a bit more like it because that's arguably an even more unique video game because it's a two-player only game where one player it's basically like weird parody of Project Toho, except that like one player is the player and the other one is like a bullet hell boss. And what's interesting is that this is based on my experience as a child because when kids grow up playing with their brother or friend or cousins or whatever on the console, they have two controllers. I never had a console. I only had a keyboard and mouse. So a lot of my experiences is PC games where to play two players, one person had to be on one side of the keyboard and the other had to be on the other side of the keyboard. And I was always thinking, wouldn't it be like more convenient if there was one person that was on a keyboard and the other person is on a mouse so they don't have to like rub shoulders all the time? And that kind of made the premise of the video game where the player has keyboard controls and the boss is exclusively using a mouse. So it's like I had to think of the mouse and only the mouse as the controller. And it was kind of like figuring out how to like make a toy fun. That was as close as I got to like making a toy, basically. Kind of like how like early Nintendo was like thinking of things when like video games were kind of like new, and you're like, how do I like make a game based on this like novel way of like controlling a thing on a screen?
Yeah, it's I never got to play New Ribbon Divide as intended. I had my fucking fiance over like a few months ago. We should have played it then so I could like take notes for this. It does sound like a concept you would just like overhear like your indie dev friend is making. They're like, it's a two-player game. One's on keyboard, one's on mouse. And that's like, I find it interesting that you kind of went through an opposite arc to a lot of these indie devs where you were talking about like how these people only care about gameplay so you get laughed out of the room if you show them Cheddar. But like I think that's to a detriment of them where you see a lot of these really disposable like indie games that are just like a really solid core primary gameplay loop and they have nothing else to them. Utterly bland aesthetic, or like no attempt at any deeper meaning, not even not like a really solid and well put together like campaign or anything. It just kind of is like so it's a toy in like a way that I think is to a detriment. Like I think that Myths is kind of a toy in a good way, and the way that the game is set up feels very toy-like in how I can just kind of fidget with it in a flow state in a really satisfying way without it being like
Yeah.
disposable.
Although I should mention that, like, when I say like the proper indie devs that would like laugh you out of the room because you just made Mario but with different aesthetics that are interesting, I mean that they do that because they've like kind of become enlightened. They've figured out what I figured out with Myths, which is that it is possible to have core gameplay that is personal and interesting synergize with visuals and audio that are also personal and interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I feel like I only ever did one up until like Hedgehog Dilemma for Robots, and then the other one I shifted to after that, and then Myths is like maybe the first game I made that's like both. And ever since then, it kind of I had a taste of the good stuff. I can't go back.
Yeah, fucking welcome to my world, brother. I know exactly how it feels to like finally fully understand what you want to do as a creative, and it just clicks, and it's like I want to be in the wave forever. I want to be surfing inside of that wave for the rest of my life. Everything else is just getting into that wave. And I think we should probably maybe we should have talked about this earlier, but maybe it's also a good time to start on it. Is what Myths started as from the ground up and how it evolved.
Ah, yes.
Because I had a very similar story to Ceda.
Yeah, it's because Myths is an idea I had back in the summer of 2013. So it's been 13 years since I've had Chlev in mind. And back then, it was thematically, I was like 17 and I was kind of angry at the like real world. So I made like a game that's basically angry satire of all the things I didn't like, which is like mostly corruption and greed, which you know, yeah, but there's like proper ways of expressing that. And then it started off as that. It was like obviously it was like 2013, so I was still like super into Isaac, so it was like pretty dark while still like cartoony looking, which is like Flash Isaac in particular was so influential to me because it looked like a basic ass Flash game that I could have made, but it was done by a really good artist, and the gameplay was also really good, but it still had this overall look that it's a Flash game still, so it feels achievable by someone like me, which was kind of an important feeling.
Yeah.
I hope every fucking artist has a feeling like that because they need something. That's kind of why like less than perfect art is kind of important because even especially when you're super skilled and in the prime of your like artistic career is to make something that's rough around the edges so that
Yes.
like aspiring artists can see that and be like,
Yes, exactly. This is something I talk about a lot about how I have a friend who's like a huge cinephile, and he's been talking about how he finds he doesn't like special effects in movies anymore because even when it's all done, even when it's like a physical effect, they will use like bits of CG to weed out the imperfections of the physicality, and so it just looks boring. And there's this discussion point we talk about a lot to get me and him about this idea of like special, and this is just like a thing I've been thinking about a lot is the idea that you have a vision and you create an art piece based around that vision within the limitations of what you have. And once that art is made, there are two paths to go for people inspired by it. Or even this person who made it. It is either keep going with that vision in a less compromised form, or exaggerate the compromises and create something leaning into the imperfections or the eccentricities. I call it pragmatic art. Like you some effects are made because it's all they had in the moment, and then because I'm sure like if people in the fucking 1930s could make films in color, they would have. But they couldn't because they were stuck to black and white film. But now people are making black and white films, even though it is literally more effort to make a black and white movie now because it is working within a purposeful limitation to exaggerate the features of the pragmatism to create an emotion. And that's kind of like what stuff like, yeah, you were talking about like Flash Isaac, is that like it's inspiring because it's kind of professional but also scrappy, and that births the art style that you have, which feels like a an exaggeration of a lot of aspects of Flash cartoons done by someone who's kind of punching down in a sense of like, I could probably do better than this, but I want to stick to this. And so like, I think Myths is a fucking beautiful game. Like it is what it is. So it reminds, like, you talked to, we talked about the inspirations in a bit, but like I can totally feel like the Sonic CD stuff, and like your whole color.
Yeah.
You're so good with colors now, man. It's like so fucking beautiful to look at. It's eye candy, and it feels like a modern reinterpretation of a lot of Newgroundsy aesthetics without all of like the unpleasantries of the era
Yeah.
bogging it down.
Which is really weird because it started off as like kind of the opposite in terms of the setting.
Yeah.
It was originally supposed to be black and white because I didn't know how to do color at all. So I was like, well, I'm too scared to fucking learn now, so fuck it. I'm just gonna take a shortcut.
Yeah.
Okay, by the way, spoilers for anybody that wants to be an artist. Don't take shortcuts. Not often. Not with serious decisions like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes taking shortcuts for some things can be fun and interesting, but like, don't take it too far.
Yeah. What did the game
Slavia.
Yeah, Slavia. What did it play like initially? What was the initial vision?
Yeah, this is funny as fuck. It got a lot of visions, but the funniest one to me is it was Spelunky, but it wasn't a roguelike. In case you don't know, that's nothing. That's like that takes away anything that's interesting from
That's
it.
just like a 2D platformer at that point. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
There's a thing.
That tells you my like fucking like mentality back then. I was just like, I'm gonna do this thing, but worse.
It's like I've heard people talk about Slavia a lot from like hardcore Leather fans who like know that shit, and every pitch I hear is like, it's like Spelunky but without the roguelike, and there's nuclear throne mutations, and
Yes.
and you can do this and you can do that, and it's like yeah, this is nothing.
Yeah, it is nothing. That's why that was like one of the fucking problems when after like I made Hedgehog Dilemma for Robots and New Ribbon Divide, I figured out how to game design. So I was like, okay, now I need to make the video game like interesting. I can't just put my boy Clev in a platformer on just another one. So I thought about it, and I think it was Edmund McMillan himself who gave me the advice that I don't think it was even his advice. I think he just sort of like steered me to this thing where it's like, well, what do you really like in a genre? And then just really lean into that. And I thought about like Ceda, and I was like, you know what? In Ceda, like, it's a platformer, of course, because it's Mario. It's just that like the platforming part of the platformer I don't care for. Like, like I understand that it can be interesting to make level designs based on something like the jump and how many interesting obstacles you can get from that. It can be really interesting. Even something like VVV is very good at that, even though like there's hardly any mechanics. But I was just like, in the same way that Edmund took Mario and just removed everything, like it removed the power-ups, removed the killing enemies, removed the bosses or whatever, and just made all that was left is the pure platforming, and then he just scaled that up to 11. And that's how he got Super Meat Boy. My logic was to do the exact opposite. Take the classic Mario game that I'm the most interested in, that has the most bullshit in it, which is like Mario 3. Mario World, I think, is generally known as being like better because it like has better, like, quote unquote better controls, and has it uses its elements more and better. But I thought Mario 3 worked really well because Mario 3 had a lot of obscure bullshit that you see like once and then never again, and I thought that was really fitting for a game about GTA myth videos where it's just like bullshit that only happens like once.
Yeah, at a certain point it went from like about like a tormented artist to like GTA myths. Explain that process. Let me get some water.
Hold up. After you come back, then I have to like talk about how I gotta go.
What you have to go?
Yeah, give me a moment.
Oh, right, you need to use the bathroom.
I gotta piss. Fuck and shit! That one's just for editing, Gabri. Live Gabri's not gonna hear that one, but in editing you might catch that. Alright, I think I'm back now.
There you are. Hello. We were just talking about the process you took from tormented artist to GTA myth videos.
Yeah, of course. I should say, It's technically a tormented architect, but you know, same thing really.
Oh yeah.
They're technically art. Yeah, they are artists. Okay, so the idea is that the early version of Slavia was, of course, I was obsessed with Isaac, so it was kind of like more dark while still like keeping the cute thing. But another huge influence was the Half-Life 1 mod Cry of Fear.
Oh yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, so I was really like fixated on that one for a while in 2013. Didn't play it. I just watched somebody else play it because again, I too am a pussy. So, but it really left an influence on me, that game that I didn't play. I liked that as well, and it also had like themes of somebody that's basically stuck in a world that's their inner self, and it also had like dark themes. And I was just like, what if I had the same thing where it's like a world that takes place into a tormented like architect's mind, which explains all the buildings everywhere. And it would also be dark because I'm like trying to do like social commentary or whatever the hell. Because again, I was 17 and I was angry, and that somehow I was like, well, I like this character, but like this sort of like, it was like 2021 to 2023. I was in a bit of a rut mood wise. So I was like, damn it, I am sick of bleak settings. I kind of didn't want like apocalyptic stuff. I didn't want like this. I didn't want that. How about I just for once just make a game that takes place in a world that's like way better than ours for once? That'll make me stand out, and I don't have to fucking deal with being kind of depressed while making that. Or making myself like depressed and making like a bleak world.
Yeah.
Which is kind of expected from like Slavic developers, but you know. I was just like, I'm just gonna like do the exact opposite. I know that I'm an Edmund boy through and through, but I just gotta do what my heart says. The only thing is that it was a little bit of a struggle to like do like a utopia setting that like I think is like good place to live in, because I just figured a world where everything goes right is boring.
Yeah.
And it can be, but I figured it out somehow. The reason I went with GTA Myth videos in particular is because I think it was Michael that suggested something with that. Like, I like, oh, well, you really like GTA Myth videos the same way Bone2.exe is about your appreciation for creepypastas. Maybe you can do the same thing for myths. I don't know if it was them or if it was me. I was like, okay, well, I should like, at first I had the idea as like, he could have a camera as a weapon, like the camera from Spelunky, but like the camera from Spelunky kind of sucks. So sounds like a bad idea to make an entire fucking game around that.
What does the camera from Spelunky behave like? Because I haven't played Spelunky that much.
Ah, okay. Well, the camera from Spelunky it works kind of similar the way it does in Myths. It spawns, it gives you like a frame of where a flash will be, and whatever is in that frame gets either stunned or a neat interaction. If it's a vampire, it instantly dies. The only difference is that in Spelunky, first of all, it doesn't kill anyone. It just stuns them, which is, I guess, okay, because like another main way of attacking enemies is by jumping on their head. So I guess stunning them makes that easier a little bit, but it's otherwise not a very fun weapon. People don't hold that shit very often. But I was encouraged to further try out the camera thing, and I did. And that's how I came up with like the myth things, and then I had to like kind of finagle a reason why the camera flash would kill. And then I was like, what if it doesn't kill them? What if instead, because like urban legends and myths are seen so rarely, they don't want to be seen or recorded. So it gets into this logic that like being photographed makes them uncomfortable, so they leave and stop attacking you, which is kind of phoned in, I was told, but I can only do so much, boss.
Yeah, like I don't think that's phoned in at all. I think it makes complete sense. Of just like you,
it's very abstract thinking. It's almost dream logic.
Yeah, it is kind of dream logic, especially in how you deal dollars of damage and enemies have like health meters. It's fairy tale logic, we'll say, and I think that completely works for the plot of an action game. You just go, when you photograph them enough, they want to go away, and that's all you need.
Yeah. Because otherwise there's not, like, physical damage, like a big punch or, like, an explosion is kind of weird with the main core of being, like, the more things you capture in the frame, the more damage it deals, and therefore the more dollars it makes, and therefore the more score it does.
That was kind of started in Hedgehog's Dilemma for Robots, where you weren't killing the things, you were just like
recording them. It's just that it's represented as destroying them.
Yeah.
I guess I guess I started being a pussy then.
We'll make the super ultra violent death game together, and you can atone for it. It's fine. It's just a one-time thing. It's two-time thing.
Yeah, maybe it's just because like I'm a huge Ultra Kill fan, and I'm like, I'm good. I'm good with the like violent, brutal killing with that game. I should do something else.
Yeah, no, like I am done with like the how do I say this? I am done discussing the aesthetic potential of how cool you can make something in a game. I wanna explore, because I think too many. This is a problem, especially in the fucking FPS scene. Is too many people are experimenting on how to make something as awesomely violent as possible, and not how to make the best video game. Which is like the exact opposite of that is Myths, which is just a fucking fantastic game that isn't violent at all. You take a photo and they just leave.
It's also, I mean, it's important because it's funny.
It is also a little funny.
A lot of this video game's DNA has at least what I perceive as surrealist art, and either surrealist or absurdist. Basically, I think it's absurdist art that is basically summarized as it's trying to capture the subconscious, what the subconscious is thinking, and illustrate it, while surrealism is combining that with real-world satire. It's just that it's really like abstract satire, which the satire in Myths is not very abstract, but a lot of things in it are. There's an entire like museum level, and a lot of the artwork in the museum level is like supposed to invoke surrealist paintings. There's a room that introduces the new enemies, which is like robot clones of yourself that have your moves, and they jump out of a painting. There's like a surrealist idea there. That's like something surrealist art also likes to dabble in, which is like caricatures coming to life. Very much inspired by like The King and the Mockingbird film animation thing. It's also a reference to Blood of the Poet, which is another surrealist film. There's a statue in that same room that introduces those enemies, that very stylized version of like a lady statue that's in one of the famous scenes of that movie.
This is a very I've never heard of this. I need to ask my cinephile friend if he's heard of Blood of a Poet.
Yeah,
because this is a very I love that you will occasionally make really like smart classical references. That's something that I wanted to talk about.
And then in the next level, it's Mothman from GTA Mythhunters episode 12.
Yes!
Where they doodle a little fucking abstract drawing with red eyes in the sky or something that you can't identify. I think I said it in a video, but having a game that's received so well and it has so much stupid shit in it, and everybody's like, I love this game. Like, there's stupid shit in it, but I can't deny that it's a really good game. And I feel like that's a really, that's a position I like to put people in, and it makes me smile and stuff.
Snile.
Yeah. And again, it goes back to the, like, baffling people thing that I enjoy making people.
Yeah.
That's fun to do. It's just like, you cannot deny that, hopefully the video game I'm making that has an obscure as fuck reference to like some video that has under 1,000 views on YouTube. Like there's in the new like extra level, there's a bunch of signs in the background of the airport, and like 3 of them reference YTPMVs.
Oh, really?
Most of the level names reference YTPMVs, actually.
Yeah, I caught a couple.
Yeah, it has like Tremolo Treble, there's Spies Like You, there's one of the signs is just like really obscure ones, which is it's called, let me just like look up, it's something like Aluri or something like that. You'll recognize the sign, but like the sign is spelled exactly like how the video is titled, Alegrui. If you look up that sign and then look it up on YouTube, you'll find a video that as of right now has 691 views, and it's by a user called Omni.
Is this like the most obscure reference in the game?
I'm not sure, but it's for sure like down there.
Yeah, okay, so it's for this listener, it's spelled ALLEGRUI, and this has 600 views, almost 700. Can we get it to 1,000 together?
I kind of always feel bad about this because I want people to be like make like vague references to the thing that this comes from in the YouTube comments and make the creator kind of like curious and why there's a sudden spike and be kind of things. But I don't want like people to be too annoying about it. I'm in the JoJo fandom. That can get a little out of hand.
Oh yeah, I know. Listen, I think the type of people that are gonna listen 2 hours deep into this podcast, I hope you're gonna be normal about this, alright?
Please. It's I really again in the comment section I said that it's like I really like YTPMVs that are using noisy samples, but it makes it sound very nice.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of YTPMVs I reference in the game, which is it's just because in general I'm a big fan of remix culture on the internet like that. So it's like one of my like dream games hopefully is going to be like a vague action game representation of that, but it's very much like not very fully formed. It's very much like Myths Are 100% True before it like got the camera mechanic.
Yeah.
It used to be that in Myths Are 100% True, the camera would deal more damage if you captured a specific frame of an enemy.
Oh wow.
That's not only is that a little bit of an ask, I mean it does at least like compliment the fact that I may put a little too much effort into the individual sprites. So it's like you get to see all sorts of like, oh, the idea is like, haha, you caught like a silly frame of this character doing this thing. But then it turns out that that's Pokemon Snap, I think.
I think the main problem is that like that's a cool idea, but you like the way that Myths ended up going is that it's about the Gold True essentially, and I think that that mechanic would make Gold Trues essentially RNG.
Yeah.
Or so specific like route planning that there's only one way you could possibly do the level, and figuring that out is not fun. I think having to figure that out would be way too arduous and annoying, and so that's kind of an idea you can like put in the bank for like a game one day, but because it is a very interesting idea of trying to get enemies doing specific actions, almost like a Punch Out type thing.
Oh yeah.
I think Punch Out literally has a mechanic like this actually.
Yeah, that's just Punch Out. Well, more reason not to do it, I guess.
Yeah, there you go. So we're talking about references a lot, obviously. And I guess just like this leads into a question of just like if we want to be like really cynical, we can say that you're being somewhat hypocritical of trying to champion an idea of originality and uniqueness while also taking such intimate pride in references. And the question inherently is like, what do you define as inspiration versus imitation, and even like what makes imitation bad? Is there a good kind of imitation, and is there like what gives you the confidence to do all these send-ups and feel like this does not cheapen my art?
I feel like it's just because it is part of me. I am what I eat, etc. I feel like just because it feels better when I reference things that are obscure because it's something I like, and I feel like not enough people know about it. So giving it a shout out if I'm like super popular and giving something that I feel like deserves more attention a shout out might like fix that, and then I feel better about myself, and I'll be like, thank you, no problem, citizen. I've saved your obscure video. And they go, you did nothing. And then I fly away. And then I'm like, I feel good about myself.
I'm a good person.
Yeah. I put I named one of my levels after your video with 1,000 views. Thank me later.
You sent me one that was like maybe the most niche video that you put as a level name, and it's like
that's a fucking
Vacation with Myths, right?
Oh yeah, that's Vacations with GTA Myths 1. I had to change the title. But it's a fucking weird video because they used to like pretend that they and their friends are like an actual like organization of myth hunters that had like a whole business and headquarters and stuff like that, and they have friends and all of that, which of course is, you know, the Photoslavs like Tortino and all the other like Photoslavs you talk to. It builds like a sense of community.
Yeah.
That like similar to how those YouTubers would pretend that they and their friends are like part of an organization, etc.
It is like,
So it's another part of that.
it just cemented into me how ridiculous the idea is of there being a company for myths.
Yeah.
And like their entire job is just taking photos of myths
And analyzing them.
There's a corporation for like making those shitty Windows Movie Maker videos.
That's I mean, I guess that's the benefit of like a world where everyone has like something they really like doing, and that's considered a valuable job somewhere. Like I think probably in the myths world there's no such thing as there's no difference between like a job and a hobby. It's just like, you have one of the photo slavs, which is Knedla, and she is obsessed with maps. So it's like she made the map that's in the headquarters that you like used to put all the pins on.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, she has a grudge on you because you used her map without saying anything, because Clev has the character flaw of just kind of assuming he can do a certain thing without like letting anybody know. Again, the autism coding thing.
I like the bit where he goes into, I don't remember if it's explicitly stated, but it's like basically all but said to be a strip club, and he goes, "No, it's fine for me to be in here and take photos because I'm just here for the myths."
Yeah, that's like, as Luvenitsa says right after, it's like, you think I was born yesterday? You can tell, I mean, that character flaw in particular is like, Chlev's character as a whole is made up of 3 parts. One third of it is like self-insert me. One like fourth of it, maybe like 20%, is Ross W. Scott in Ross's Game Dungeon.
I can see that. I can completely see that.
But he is mostly a personification of certain old GTA myth videos. Like, just like he behaves like a GTA myth video of like somebody like sees a fucking dust particle on a pizza sign and it says the pizza has a face.
It's great. Was like the way that we talked about it in like DMs at one point is that like Clev is a very strange boy in that he is more scared of things. He's not very afraid of things he probably should be, but is very easily terrified by completely inane things. He kind of has like SpongeBob energy in that way.
Yeah. Even Clay was like comparing Clev to SpongeBob when talking about like the Mezel fight. Because like Mezel just fucking, when Mezel like fucking shoulder bashes into him, he goes fucking flying and it doesn't even do any damage. So that's very SpongeBob in that way.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, I think the most obscure reference I have to a title, the most obscure reference of a YouTube video. No, it has more views. Okay, it is Allegory. Never mind. It used to be Kiss That Asphalt, which is like also a really good song. It kind of inspired the entire level.
That's how it be sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, I'll send it to you, but like some of you can look it up. It's just called Kiss That Asphalt. It's by ZZZ Alt. I wanted to make a level where, as a joke, it's like obviously, like Wario Land 4 likes came out recently with Pizza Tower and Anton Blast, and Anton Blast and Pizza Tower and Wario Land 4 all had a late game level where the panic mode starts from the beginning and you have to run for the entire level to go back. And I thought, like, wouldn't it be funny if I did one of those, but there's no timer? Everything about the level is telling you to run as fast as possible before something bad happens. And it doesn't. It's just that it's really tough.
Yeah, there's just like a fucking... That's the level with the missile, right?
No, that's... No, this is like in the
sixth
case. In the sixth...
it's
the top case. It's the
I remember
second
now.
top case. It's like the music is intense. The encounters are intense. Signs in the sign are... Signs in the sign? Signs in the background are telling you to run, but you don't have to.
That's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, and I guess that brings me to a question that I asked a couple leather-brained friends to like ask me, like, oh, what should I ask him? And like the
leather-brained. Do not say leather-brained out of context.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. And the question was like, how how do you find all this obscure shit? And like what gives you the confidence to do all these obscure ass references? Because like I like it's not how do I say this? I mean, how do you find fucking a million 500 view videos like this? And like how do you get such like obscure shit to pay tribute
I
to?
don't know. It just shows up on my doorstep. It's just like, I think it's because from the start of, like, this channel is from 2010. I would follow a lot of accounts. I think it's just because like YTPMVs in general are kind of like an obscure thing a little bit. There's some really popular ones out there, but it's only like a handful. But I was in that scene for a very long time, and I was in a lot of obscure scenes. Even creepypastas to some extent are like obscure. They're not as popular as they were like just like a couple of years ago, I suppose.
And even yeah, and even then, like, there's like the ones that like there's like Slenderman and Jeff the Killer, but then there's like the layer beneath is all the weird lost episode shit, which is like where you mostly put your foot in.
Yeah, I guess I just always found lost episodes like kind of interesting because they're just tend to be like wackier for some reason. I don't know why this never happens in like video game creepypastas, but like they fucking kind of lose their mind when making lost episode creepypastas.
Again, it's the fucking edited anyone. Where like was it Rolf like
Yeah, that boy ain't right.
that boy ain't right. He does not like he does some shit to that
Yeah.
cow.
I don't know why. I mean, I say it in the video, but it's like this is obviously like shock factor, but like at what cost?
At what cost? But hey, the quality was perfect.
But it's just like there's also like a lot of like obscure creepypastas
yeah,
that it's like
that...
I get just because like somebody just like randomly like covers them as a stray like thing that drops on them and then nobody ever talks about it, like Con Plus or Halo 3 Half-Flood glitch.
Is that the one that got referenced in Myths? That's like the IOU.
Yeah, the IOU references, which it's like a really funny line from the creepypasta where the guy does the super secret and like survives with his life or some shit, and then he gets a letter from Bungie that says, "Dear player, we hope you had fun finding our most kick-ass secret." And it's like, okay.
You fucking go through like this creepypasta nightmare that you get like imagine like you go through fucking Sonic EXE, you get a letter in the mail from Sega. Thanks for playing our kick-ass secret, man. You're the king. Let's go for a burger sometime.
Fuck it, you really did that, man. Fucking Brewski's on me. Chug, chug, chug.
Just like you
do a fucking
going out for a couple beers with like the Bungie CEO. You know, man, you found that secret. You all right, mate? You all right?
It was really funny. It kind of stuck to me, so I put it in there. I guess that's it. It just always sticks to me. I don't know how I find obscure things. It's because I like follow people and they find obscure things. Frankly, I don't know. Like I said, I think mostly they just show up. I spend a lot of time on YouTube and I've found like tricks to doing things. Like, excuse me for 1 second. Gabri, I'm 30. I'm dying. I'm okay. So, anyway, one trick I like that was very handy for this video game is when looking for obscure GTA myth videos, I would go on the YouTube search bar and look up GTA myths or mysteries or ghosts, and after that, put before 2010 or 2011 or
oh yeah, that's the classic thing,
and that has no like modern algorithm sorting bullshit, nothing. It just like gets rid of that and gives you all the stuff that was uploaded before then.
Dude, literally, like, I love that shit. I did that once with, like, Sonic the Hedgehog review, and I found the funniest fucking video ever of this guy screaming about Sonic Unleashed from, like, 2009. Best fucking feature, looking up shit, like, pre-2012 or something.
Hope they don't fucking remove it.
They remove it, it's over.
The feature YouTube removed that pisses me off the most is that you probably don't remember this, but back in between like 2010 and 2013, it used to be that when you favorited a video, it would show that video on the subscriptions feed for people that have subscribed to you.
Is that true? Oh my god.
It was basically retweeting, and it was great. I fucking subscribed to people just because they retweeted good stuff, which is probably how I got like a lot of obscure things. Like I would follow YTPMV people like Mr. Zarlable, because I wanted, of course I liked his videos, but also he would often favorite and therefore like reblog a lot of stuff from other people, and then I would watch that, and then it would branch off. What I'm saying is, this feature made it very easy to find obscure videos.
Yeah.
And now it's gone. So no wonder you guys can't find obscure videos no more. The popular guys are good at finding obscure videos, and so they like reblog like obscure things that like they happen to find, and they want like other people to look at because either they find it funny that now people have to see that this is on your feed now, or they just genuinely like it, which is like kind of like all me. Basically, that's kind of, I wish they brought that back. But, you know, what can you do?
What can you do? Yeah. And also just like speaking on my own end is that like I think that maybe something to take away from this is that we live in an age of basically infinite information at our fingertips, and I think because of that, I think incuriosity is inexcusable. So genuinely, if you love the stupid shit that Leather likes, and the stupid shit that I like too, because I like a lot of weird obscure shit too, is to fucking look for it, because there are plenty of places to find it. And it is just curiosity. It is just like look up fucking funny skit before 2009 and watch like some like 17-year-olds make some shit in iMovie in 2007.
You might even find the one I made.
You made a skit video.
Anyway, the point is I kind of understand. I am dog shit at research. The reason I am convinced one of the reasons Myths hasn't popped off as much as it should have, as most people say for some reason, is that just because like I don't want to do research on like every single journalist's email that ever existed. That's too much of them. So it's like I understand the just being too lazy to fucking like do the research yourself, but it's just kind of like it's a chore basically.
Yeah.
There's some things you have to do,
yeah.
I guess. It's kind of like I saw a post that was really good, and this kind of falls into like the whole thing of what I said about Ceda, which is that like damn, nostalgia kind of fucking sucks. Which is that in order to bring back a lot of childhood wonder is not to go back and then be like, oh, well, I need to purchase Croc 2 again. It's more like you need to do a lot of new things.
Yes.
Because when you're a kid, everything is fucking new to you. So it's kind of like magical to experience new things, even if it can be bad.
Absolutely.
So if you want to feel like a kid again, a huge part of that is you need to start like learning a lot of new things.
100%. That's why like I have been nonstop experiencing new shit for like the entire 21 years of my life. I do not fucking just like rot and do the same thing over and over. And so I don't really feel like a connection to childhood in the way that people talk about of like, oh man, back when I was a kid, I love so many things. It's like I love things better now. I'm smarter now, and I like way more cooler things. And the only nostalgia I can feel is when like a really potent nostalgia for like, oh, I haven't engaged with this in so long, but like one of my childhood games like Rayman 3, Duke Nukem 3D, Gary's Mod, I never stopped thinking about them.
Yeah.
So I don't feel nostalgia for them. Like I play Rayman 3 like once a year basically.
Pretty good.
So I have no nostalgia for it.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of how I was like with Isaac. After Repentance released, I kind of stopped playing Isaac as much, so whenever I boot up Isaac, either Flash Isaac or Repentance, I'm like, oh shit, I remember all this. This is good. I especially, like, there was you can kind of tell in Repentance, but during Repentance, we went back to Flash Isaac a lot, and we were like, oh, why don't we bring this back? This is I haven't thought about this in years. How come we didn't do this? How come we don't bring this back, etc. and etc. So, that's one thing. Although it is rich coming from me, who just I was like, oh, you know what? The past isn't so good. I'm fine with today as is. And yet I was over here complaining about the favorites button from YouTube.
Well, I mean, there's nuance. Sometimes old,
but it's
sometimes,
just kind of like there are problems in the present.
Yeah, absolutely.
Trust me. It's just that like shit, man, there's some fucking good shit today too. You just have to fucking find it.
Absolutely.
It's just that like it's a lot of the fucking problems that the present has that is dog shit at are the reason that you can't find a lot of those like gems that are around in the present, because they're just trying to kind of steer you towards like away from that and just more like, hey, buy this fucking product. Stop looking for obscure things, just look at the fucking thing.
Yeah, and which is kind of funny because we are in such an era of decentralization, which is something that is a huge talking point these days, is the death of monoculture and the idea that like everything is circles within circles within circles.
Yup.
Yeah, and how does that like affect
I don't know. Like, I don't mind it. I kind of miss some stuff from monoculture, but that's kind
yeah,
of
it had advantages, but also like I think I'm honestly okay with snuggling into my niche as long as like fresh air is put into it, because the one of my least favorite parts of decentralization is that when communities splinter, this is a thing that you can notice a lot in game design. Back in the 80s, everything had to be 2D, everything had to be like fairly low fidelity. So, and people didn't have as many genres, so most people made platformers, shmups, later on RPGs, text adventure games, and when those genres were young, everyone was doing it completely differently. Just like thinking about platformers from like 1985 like 1995, like just all the 2D Marios, like 2D Sonic, fucking Rayman, Mega Man, Castlevania, fuck Ghosts and Goblins. All of those are so completely different from each other. And you look now, and it feels like every mainstream platformer that comes out is a Mario clone in some way. Like all of them.
Yeah, it's really rough to like find the diamonds in the rough. But to be honest, even back then it had the same problem.
Oh yeah, for sure.
AVGN is like the most popular like thing that showcases that like the old days had just as much like slop as it ever has.
Yeah, there were problems back then, but like the point of it is that like
Yeah, back then it was primordial soup. It was when everything was like, it didn't have standards, it didn't have rules that were like super set in stone. Everything was allowed to be like super different, and it didn't always work out, but that's okay.
Yeah, and then stuff kind of like fragmented.
That's the point of experimentally.
Yeah, stuff kind of like fragmented then, and now like if you're in the platformer scene, there's like a handful of likes that you're gonna fit into. It's like Mario like, fucking Sonic like, like Castlevania like. Now we're getting a bunch of Wario likes, which is like it literally, it feels like the scene in Whiplash of like Wario Land like or Pizza Tower clone. Pizza Tower clone, so you know the difference.
I mean, I fucking personally know that. Technically, Myths Are 100% True is a platformer, and I can sit here and be like, there's not that much precision. There's only like a few perilous pits that you have to jump over, but like most of it is just still combat. That's why I usually say like, oh, combat side scroller, because it's like, oh,
yeah,
maybe that's more like a Contra than a Mario. But like the old days had some like fucking weird stuff that I like really appreciate and at least respect. I don't know if I'd make it, but like I respect that like think about. Like, there's this YouTuber that I watched that it's like, it's called Action Button, and it's run by Tim Rogers, I believe. I think that's his name. And one of my favorite videos of him that I've seen so far, because a lot of his videos are very long, so I only saw a few. But my favorite one is the one where he made a 2-hour video about Pac-Man. If you're like more regular, I think that video is very good at putting into context of how fucking weird Pac-Man is as a game. Thematically, yes, it's always been like infamous for being like very abstract. Like, what the fuck is the maze? What is Pac-Man? What's with the ghosts? Why did they spawn from like the thing? What's with all the pills that you're eating? What's with the power pellet? Why does that let you eat ghosts? But like as a gameplay thing, it's just really bizarre because it's early and therefore it's designed more like a toy.
Yeah.
Which is kind of very relatable when I was making New Ribbon Divide, where you like control a bullet hell boss with a mouse.
Yeah. And the whole thing about Pac-Man is that like it's very interesting because it was made specifically to like cater to a more family demographic with its very cartoony visuals, and it's heavily like prioritized like non-violent gameplay. And as well, it like codified like the maze genre, which frankly we don't have enough maze games, like like arcadey action maze games like Pac-Man. People got to get in on that shit because there's not enough really good ones. I think the best one is still Pac-Man Arrangement, and that game's not perfect, but it's great.
It's just that it's like such an abstract concept. They couldn't. A large part of that video is the nightmare that comes with following up Pac-Man. Like, how the fuck do you make a maze game? Like, that's already such an abstract concept because it's simple, but it works so well in the stuff that Pac-Man does. But I just don't know how you can really do much, or at least I can't. I can't make a fucking maze game as of right now. But then again, I can't make a lot of things.
I guess that leans into the question of like, now that the big update's out and the game is like I assume to be complete, is like, what are you thinking about the future? Like, what is the next game? Do you have any ideas?
Fibono-chan's Lust for Glory. That's one of the at least ideas. It's like, I had this idea where it's like, what if I just combined Toho with GTA's open world? Like, if you think about it, when a normal person thinks of GTA, they just kind of sit down, go into the open world, and just like mess around, run people over, shoot guns or whatever the fuck. And it's like, that's like the GTA thing. Like, I don't think if you go to a PC cafe and then the guy at the register is like, "Yep, here's a token or ticket or whatever the fuck, you have an hour on the computer," and then you're like, "Oh, they have Vice City. I'm gonna play Vice City for an hour." You think they're gonna do the fucking like plane mission? Nah, man. He's gonna fucking use the goddamn cheat codes and fuck around with like the tank, and be able to fucking perpetuate himself forward by firing the tank backwards, and then do like the flying car cheat, and then make the tank soar into the air.
That is very much toy design.
Yeah. So it's like, how about just like, I make like the opposite of an open world game? What if it's just like your literal one objective is like kill the big bad guy? Oh, you want to do that from the beginning? Good fucking luck, dude.
Interesting.
And so it's just like, and it's like the base idea I have is that, of course, because it's like more of an arcade game, it's more score attack than it is on like, fuck, my computer fell asleep. It fucking hates me. It's bored by me. Anyway, it hates this video game idea. So the concept is that it's like GTA open world, but it's more of an arcade game, which is kind of stupid because that's kind of how the first GTA is more built like. But the concept I had is it's somewhat open world for now. I have to stress that until a prototype is made, design concepts do not survive prototypes. That's a motto. So what I'm telling you right now is a fantasy. It may never even be made. That's kind of a harsh truth. Except that when you make your dream game, that it's gonna be a different motherfucker than what you thought of in the beginning. So until then, the idea I had in mind is that it's like an arcade game where you get score, and the more score you get, the more you like advance into like being able to upgrade yourself. But what's interesting is that like the main character is called Fibona-chan because she's named after Fibonacci, which is the Fibonacci sequence. And the idea behind the Fibonacci sequence is that it's a sequence of numbers that is larger the more it goes on because it adds the last number. So it's like 1, 1, 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3, 3 plus 2 is 5, 5 plus 3 is 8, 5 plus 8 is 13. So it gets exponentially like larger as it goes along. So the idea I had is that the scoring system embodies that, which is that you start off slow, but the more you go through the game, the more intense it gets, but the more like score you get. Kind of basic, and it is, but again, that's because like no prototype. I didn't like figure out how to do that. And the final boss would be like the exact opposite concept, which is it's a character called Harmonia, and she represents harmonic numbers, which is the exact opposite. It's numbers that start off big and changes, but then it evens out. It starts being smaller and smaller until it's a flat line. So it's like a representation of like the evil status quo that, ooh, I just hate for some reason because I'm an artist and a hippie and shit like that.
Evil numbers.
Yes.
That's very interesting.
I mean, even in like New Ribbon Divide, there's some evil. I mean, fucking Fibona-chan is frankly probably evil.
What was the thing you said? Like Fibona-chan is like a cute girl version of Joey from Arcade America.
Yeah, Joey from Arcade America is basically her hero. because there's like a line again from Ross's Game Dungeon where he just says like Joey could be a boxer, and then it's like yeah, he kind of has like the boxer like voice, the fucking attitude, like he's always looks like he's like if he wasn't exhausted he'd probably be picking fights and shit. So I feel like Fibonacci would be finding that like aspirational. And what's really interesting is that like the reason Fibonacci is like has like a fighter thing to it is because when we were making New Ribbon Divide, originally she was just gonna shoot bullets like a typical Toho protagonist. But then like I wasn't sure how to phrase the two protagonists because one is a boss, but I can't call the player because they're both players. That's gonna be confusing. So the programmer, she just called the non-boss one, just called him Fighter, for lack of a better word. And then I was like, oh, Fighter. That's actually kind of interesting. That could have added like an interesting wrinkle to her character where she's like a tough guy sort of thing that just throws punches and shit.
A Blood Knight, basically.
Yeah. No idea what a Blood Knight is, but yes.
Sorry, that's my TV tropes brain. Just like I like that though of someone that's like Ceda kind of. Cheda's also a Blood Knight of like someone who is just like a what do you call it? A connoisseur of death.
Yeah.
Overwhelming positivity. Yeah, towards fights.
It's just like she just likes beating the shit out of people. I mean, that's kind of like that's kind of like the art of like the boxing and the fighting and all that stuff. It's been written about before. It's nothing new, but I found it interesting because it's like she's supposed to be like a cute girl. So it's kind of like this interesting concept where it's like in a similar way that JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is really masculine men taking inspiration from really feminine sources like fashion magazines with women. In a similar way, it just gets this weird like disconnect where it's like buff muscular men with feminine poses. So I thought it'd be maybe at least not as interesting, but at least interesting to have like tough guy cute girls in there.
That's cute.
So
yeah.
I thought that part of Fibonacci really appeals to me. And it's all because like the programmer didn't know what to codename the player, so she just called him Fighter, and that spiraled off into like an entire character development. So that's kind of awesome. This is why you don't want your head too far up your ass as a director.
Yeah, just let shit happen. That's that whole spiel of like tough guy girls. That's very Grungler core of you.
Sure.
The inflection on that shore is really good.
Yeah. Shout out to Viscous from Deadlock.
I really want to ask. There's this thing that you told me in in December that I've been so desperate to fucking hear from you. Is that that you DM me? I'll say the quote. There's projects I can bring up in the interview I'll inevitably do with you. Leather, what the fuck did you mean by this? I've been thinking about this for like 8 months now.
Maybe I think
projects we'll inevitably do together?
Oh, not together. I bring up in the interview.
I looked at the camera, and I turned into a fucking big sucker. Oh my god, I've been thinking about that for 8 months.
Oh, that's just like the fucking gift.
And I misinterpreted that entirely. Jesus Christ.
Sorry. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I feel like they'd be like a little bit too much of like a creative difference if we like teamed up together, maybe.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? Listen, one of us got to be the coder.
we can't invite a third. It has to be just us two.
Listen, I don't know. I'd have to like develop things. I'm too used to being the solo director. I'm not very good at co-directing. You understand, I hope.
Yeah, no, I get it. I'd obviously fucking adore working with you no matter what, and I have experience being in a creative duo like that, so I can totally fucking bounce into it easily. But I love your immediate impulse to be like, well, it can't just be us two because we'd have to have a coder, and it's like, why can't there be a third person? Would you get jealous?
Fucking, why can't we just have a game dev polycule?
Leather puts my hand on my heart. Oh my goodness. I never thought you'd ask.
Of course. Listen, I don't know. There we go. That's it. I just don't know. I never even thought about that. I just have no kind of perspective on that. But it's just, I still like to speak to you about game design because I feel like you have solid opinions on game design, and that I don't know. I don't always agree with it, but I at least like to hear what you think about certain things
I appreciate that a lot.
because I think that's interesting. Is there anything?
We were talking about future projects.
I don't know. I think there was a time when you mentioned that you like space levels, and I was like, well, I don't think like myths can have a space level, but like I could make like the airport level kind of like space themed.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, don't let it get to you.
What if I fucking do, huh? What are you gonna do about
Well,
it?
not much I can fucking do about it, huh, punk?
Yeah, because you mentioned space, I can ask this question really quickly. It's because it's a fun thing to ask.
Least favorite levels in Chad are the space levels.
So sad. No, like just as a quick fun thing, because I ask this to every person I have on here as a fun thing.
Oh,
Pick one. Are you team fantasy or team sci-fi?
sci-fi.
Interesting.
You may have. It's just that like fantasy setting is just like medieval stuff, bro. I hate the fucking medieval. It's just like I just don't have like the modernity that I find comfort in modern settings. I don't know. That's just kind of like me. I mean, yeah. It's just like if you've played Myths, you can very obviously see that I like the modern city stuff. I loved city levels in video games. They're kind of rare, but it's like, hey, I made up for it with the entire fucking video game. But then again, GTA practically like at least 70% of GTA games is like the city level anyway. So it's like there's that. Although that does make sense with Myths because it is inspired by GTA Myth videos.
Yeah, so aside from that fucking Fibonacci thing, like, is that your only, like, do you know what you want to do next? Do you have, like, any ideas for the future?
There's here's a funny like this is a concept that I find kind of funny, but it is brutally true, which is when you want to make a new game, there are only two versions of the game you want to make. The version you want to make and the version you can make without a giant bag of money. So the giant bag of money part really has a large say in how the game ends up naturally. Like Hakira, who made Ultra Kill, would not have made Ultra Kill as it is had he not found New Blood to like fund the game essentially. That's kind of you have to think about that sort of thing. But I think I can't. One thing I can tell you about the Dream game, and this one I don't want to like say too much about because there's always a risk that somebody is listening and they're just gonna do it before I do. I think to be annoying about it, the only thing I'm going to say is there's a feeling I wanted out of the game, and I was trying to figure out a good way to invoke that feeling because it's something that you can do in video games, but it's difficult to do. And I thought it would be interesting to make it easy as hell to do, but build the entire game around it. And one of the solutions I came up with for this core concept is instant weapon switching.
I see.
And that's all you get from that.
Write that down. Instant weapon switching. Write that down.
I did post yeah, write that down. I did post what I think will be the main character of that a few times publicly, but that's it.
Fascinating.
It's like the ghost girl.
I think I've seen her before, yeah.
But it's like I don't even know if she's gonna make it. I don't even know if the thing I just said is gonna make it. Again, seldom does a concept from your brain survive prototypes.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, even within pre-production, the shit that I'm making has changed so fucking much. It's crazy how,
And that's good.
yeah, like the thing with myths that you talk about is that just like the core idea of something can change so much, and you can go so far from an initial idea. Like the game I'm currently writing a design doc for, which I will hopefully be able to post publicly about soon. Just the initial idea was I want to have high quality 2D art in an action game, but I don't want to break the bank with it. I need it to be efficient and clean, and be easy to produce and easy to put in the game. And so I came up with the entire identity of the game based on how can I get someone to make high quality 2D art for this game in a way that is economic and efficient.
Yeah.
And that spawned maybe my best game. We'll see.
Yeah. Hopefully. I think it's important that when you make a game from the start, you have to the starting concept of a game should at least be, what feeling do I want to invoke that you can't get anywhere else?
Yeah.
Which it sounds like basic when I say it like that, but it is a trap that like I fell for sure, for a long time. So may as well like put it out there now so that like a couple more people see it.
And as well is the clash between, because there's emotional thinking and there's logistical thinking. And I think that like logistically, like there's a logic to it you can do of like the platform brawler I teased at the end of the Kirby video. The shtick of it, like that's a very logistic emotion of like, I want to take the feelings I get out of the best of my favorite Kirby games, and I want to exaggerate them in a way to show that this is on the border of a new genre, and I want to make the definitive tentpole game of that genre. Because nobody's done that. Because Kirby Superstar is fucking amazing, but it's not fully there. Subspace Emissary, fucking amazing, not fully there. This game that I will make, maybe better ones will come after, but I can confidently say it is like the Super Mario Brothers of this new genre, at the least.
I think what you mean by that is you feel like this concept that you want to do exists in something that you've seen, and you want to try that out. It's very much like the Super Meat Boy comparison I made.
Yeah.
He took Mario, removed everything that doesn't support the main concept of jumping across the entire screen, which is kind of the fantasy, right?
Yeah.
Remove anything that isn't that, crank up everything that does support that, and add on things that support it further.
Yeah.
What I was gonna go with is, for Myths, it was the exact opposite. It was, I took Super Mario Brothers 3, which is kind of has like the most gimmicks and like small things, and like it had like fucking 7 power-ups and it had like several new enemies introduced in every world and blah blah blah. There's like a whole bunch of like interesting mechanics that get introduced very frequently, and that got like followed up in like 3D World. And my basic my basic thought process was, take that concept from Mario 3, remove the platforming because I'm weak at that, and just make like a combat system around the gimmicky stuff of Mario 3.
That's really interesting.
Which is an abstract idea, and you really can't see it in the final game, but it is there in the DNA.
I can see it.
And of course, I then took an entire fucking cup of flour and labeled Ultra Kill and just poured it on there.
But it's fine because like it's entirely just like you are philosophically taking from that game in a way that can't really be felt other than like something you think about in the back of your mind of like, this gives me an emotion that is similar to this, but it doesn't play like it doesn't look like it doesn't sound like it. And also, like, a lot of the like, it also feels very... We didn't even talk about how Ceda had the air dash that turned into the dash in Myths.
Yeah. We didn't talk a lot about things because we get into tangents. I didn't even start talking about Rayman.
You can...
Hell, I did. We talked about creepypastas, and I didn't even mention how my favorite creepypasta is "Thank you for playing Rayman."
Oh yeah, of course. That one was like, I was really... There was a point in my life where I wanted to make a Ceda clone, and I was really close to putting in a "Thank you for playing Rayman" level.
That would have... You would have gotten me. Let's put it like that. You would have given me that feeling of like, damn, somebody else gets it.
Rayman is interesting because he's like the platform mascot for like all of the weird kids.
Yeah, to me, he's like, okay, so this is very much a perspective thing, but you live in Canada. Rayman is basically our Crash Bandicoot.
Really?
Yeah, in Europe, he's basically like he's not like Mario. He's not like maybe he's Sonic popular, but he is like very much a French video game mascot, and people are kind of surprised when they hear that in America he's not so like popular. So he's definitely like a European mascot
Yeah.
that like you hear about, but you don't like. It's not Mario.
Yeah.
It's not even like Lara Croft, maybe. You get it.
Yeah.
So it's like I have a different perspective. So it's like not quite weirdo, but it is weirdo from your perspective due to geology, which is also in itself kind of interesting.
Yeah. I like a lot of my European friends didn't grow up with Rayman, which I find interesting. Uh and how like there's a really funny thing you said to me about how you were playing Rayman 3 and you went, "Oh, I think this game was the game that made me insane."
Oh, absolutely. Although I don't think it is. I think I think a lot of the things where it's like often think about like why do I like obscure references and why do I like putting them in there? And every time I think of a different answer. So for now, in August of 2026, my current answer is I looked up to Harvey Rothman because he would also do a lot of that in like the music and the animations that he did. So it's like I looked up to him, so he did that. I want to do that too. So that's my solution for right now. I think I thought of another reason for that, but I don't remember now. So all I remember is the Harvey one. So that might be it.
Yeah.
Rayman 3 is more like, fuck, I don't remember. But yeah, it definitely contributed to it, I think.
Yeah.
It contributed to me being kind of crazy.
The one that I remember, there was a reference that we both have thought of that I really want to figure out at some point, which is the part in the Desert of the Canaran where the teensy like tulpa appears in front of you to go like,
Yeah.
you must never let a Canaran get you, and like the entire fucking game
Capiche?
freezes and this guy appears in the center of your screen.
That's I think that might be the funniest thing that happens in the game because you're just like I understand the vision. I think that's like a huge part of like humor you don't understand. That's sort of feeling where it's like the entire joke, the intended joke is that the developers are going like they're grabbing you by the shoulder and they're going like, all right, kid, like fucking get your shit together, okay? But because it just happens where it's like you get hit a few times by the Canaran, and then the entire game stops.
It's that
music cuts out. The teensy pulpa appears in front of you. No, like not even fading in, just pops in instantly.
I can't stress this enough. If anyone...
he's playing his like little gay ass nose wiggle animation in front of you, like he's so ashamed.
I can't.
Or like he's sniffing you, I guess. And he's just like, when it starts, he doesn't even start talking immediately because I guess the voice file has like a bit of silence at the start. So it just sounds like, so it just looks like he's talking and no sound comes out. And then the sound happens without him changing animation. And he's directly looking at you like it's a creepypasta.
It's like a creepypasta. I need to stress, there's a glitch. Rayman 3 is a little bit buggy in some places, and one of the bugs is that if you touch a Canaran in the wrong way, you can get like hit a bunch of times by it in like a second. And so something that can happen to you is you can accidentally bump into one and get like nudge against it like a million times, and you hear like the pain sound 100 times, and then it freezes time and does that, and then it goes back to normal gameplay. So it feels like that's a classics of game clip right there.
It's so fucking funny. It does feel like a classics of game moment. Like, also the fact that like the accent is there is just kind of like adds like a little bit of drop of like fucking God. Like bitter a little bit, like okay, like that's like a little bit of flavor that you're not sure if you like ever wanted, but it's there.
I'm not over comparing it to a creepypasta because it does feel it has the same energy as like the clip of like like somebody dying in Family Guy, and it cuts to Chris Griffin in the Black Void. It has like that similar energy of like sudden disarray.
I think it's like, yeah, if you want to know, I think the Classics of Game comparison is very apt. Classics of Game really has that like feel of baffling things happening in a video game. It's really good at that.
Yeah.
I need to like. Well, no, I don't think I'll ever make it into a Classes of Game clip, but I for sure need like people to feel like that sort of thing happens in my games. I guess it's just that I'm inspired by it.
Yeah, I love Classics of Game as well. I laughed really hard at, I think it's in Myths or Hedgehog's Dilemma, where there's a quote where it's like, "Welcome to my game, have fun," and it's based off that very specific.
Half fun.
I quote that as well.
Yeah.
The fucking, I think it's 164, where it's like fucking intense jungle break
Welcome to-
intro,
well-
and then it fades. Some guy, it's like footage of soccer, and then like a guy fades in. He looks
Yeah.
like he's dead inside.
And he's like, "Welcome to welcome to Willy Sucker 98. Have fun."
Have fun. He pronounces it like a have fun, and then he just
have fun, like half life.
and then he just like stares at you while the music fades back in, and it's like so fucking funny.
It's so good. It just has a lot of like good stuff like that on classicsofgame.com or whatever the channel. You get it.
I love
But I love moments like that.
Another thing you should check out after you play Myths, Classics of Game.
Yeah, we have a lot of homework. Sorry, everyone. You thought school was over, bitch. Welcome to 5th grade.
That's how old do you have to be to enter 5th grade? I might be old. I might be within the age range of 5th grade.
I don't know. It's been a while since I've been to school. What's 10 minus 1?
Fair enough. Well, yeah. All right. Yeah. 10. I almost answered that legitimately, and then I realized you just asked me what 10 minus 1 is. I mean, you clicked on the fucking Gabri Lovecraft interviews LeatherIceCream video. You're getting a bunch of stupid tangents and homework of dumb shit we like. So fucking grow up, deal with it, or grow down. I know our shared audience. Some of you want to do that instead.
I probably just grow up. You just gotta grow up in like the right way. You just gotta go in the right direction. If you feel like you went in the wrong direction, then go back and take another turn. It'll be fine. You can fix yourself as a person. Trust me.
That is beautiful. I say beautiful. I think that is.
It was complete nonsense,
beautiful.
but it did kind of turn out like that. I think that's just how philosophy works.
Yeah, I mean, I have been.
You just take like you just take psychotic drugs and then like write it down and then you like go through it and then you're like, oh, label this one with like highlight that with a marker and go like, oh, this one kind of makes sense.
I mean, that's based. Oh, it's like what fucking Ernest Hemingway did. The dude just fucking drank and was miserable his whole life, and he just managed to fart out a bunch of beloved, acclaimed books. I've been trying to. I need to get a copy of A Farewell to Arms because I need to research him for a future project.
Oh yeah, well yeah, yeah. I mean, that's for sure something you got over me, which is that like you sure as hell have more interest in literature than me. School kind of ruined literature for me, but you know,
Yeah.
what can you do?
But like literally, like I like there's a. I need to start reading them again. But like for a long time, my two biggest inspirations were you and Discworld, and so like I have like a mix of very modern shit posting and sensibilities, and also like classical literature. I guess Discworld isn't like classic, but it's like beloved comedy novel.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of made sense to me. It's like you know, like you start off like that, and then you get more wrinkles in there, and then you fully become yourself, and then you look at your hands, and then you go, "What have I become?" And then you start thinking of like, what is you? And then you're like, "Oh, I guess I am multitudes of things."
Yeah.
Neat. I don't have to think. I don't have to be like. Not everything has to be an existential crisis.
It's funny you mentioned the literature thing because for a future thing, it'll make sense when it's out. Is that I have a list of a few artists I need to do research into, and the list is really funny because it contains Ernest Hemingway, Dante Alighieri, and Toby Fox, and I think those three being in a group is really, really funny.
It's really good to have like it's like a pacing thing, of course. It's a good joke where it's like, I mean, it's even better when it's actually true. And it's like, yeah, the odd one out is a good fucking bit.
Yeah.
Especially like it very much is. I mean, I guess in my work as well, especially in Ceda and Myths, is fuck. I literally forgot what I was about to say 5 seconds ago.
Good job.
Okay, let's see. Literature. Yeah, it's just that like there's a lot of technical, professional, like competency there, and then it hits you with the fucking reference to white DPMV.
And there's the fucking rocket that like rotates like a plane with an Adobe Premiere.
Oh, okay. This is a funny one. Well, actually, I'm not sure if it's no. Actually, it's not. It's funny how I did it, but the original thing is kind of dark. Long story short, I think when I was 4 years old, my town was being bombarded.
Oh my god.
When I was then in like 2022, I had a nightmare where I kid you not, a huge missile was in the sky, just like it is in that level. To like accurately say it, imagine if you're in a Gmod map and then you went into like the skybox part of the map where it's like you go in there and everything's huge.
Yeah.
Imagine if somebody took like a rocket and went to the skybox part of the map and put the rocket there and start like putting like a million thrusters on it so it's like really glitchy as it rotates around.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's just like spinning
And
around.
then you go back to the regular map and then you look into the sky and it's a violently spinning death thing that when it explodes everything will be fucking evaporated because the damn thing is miles long. That's the dream I had. And as per standard of a surrealist video game, you like to include things from dreams in there. And I thought it would be really funny to have the complete total whiplash after the Pallant update.
It is good. It is very very memorable and strange. I don't remember how I felt in the moment, but it like there's a lot of exotic stuff like that in the game that I think really benefits it.
Yeah, there's like I have to also of course mention I have to mention this. It's in the snow level. It is based on Clay God's dream. Again, if you're a director, don't shove your head up your ass because that's like that entire level probably wouldn't have existed without him. And in his dream, he was dreaming that he was making a new Myths Are 100% True level that was like a snowy mountain. He talked to an NPC, and the NPC said, in the text, it said, "Watch out, it can get down to negative 30 degrees up here." And the negative 30 degrees was in big blue letters. And that was like the dream he had. And I was just like,
that's really cool.
And I was like, that's funny.
Awesome.
That seems like something. Again, the surrealist aspect of it being having parts that are inspired by dreams fits with the game. And it's also just like a funny, nonsensical sort of like thing that happens and is never addressed.
Yeah, when I played the game, when I streamed it, I like had that moment happen, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to ask Leather about that because that's clearly an extremely obscure reference, and I guess I was right. It's a reference to some shit.
Yeah,
that was in
there's like, I mean, that's the most obscure reference of them all. Only one motherfucker has seen it.
Yeah, that and the fucking RageBot story is like that's elite.
Yeah, at least like the RageBot story. At least my brother could like kind of remember that maybe, but it's like a personal like dream referencing a dream. Only one motherfucker has seen the dream.
That's beautiful.
Anyway, like Clay did like concept art and like the NPC that says that line. I pretty much translated that NPC's look like to basically just match the game's art style, and that's it.
I love how many stories the game has. I think that's a very important part of the personalities that has so many stories, and like
it's also like important for like the marketing because like if somebody's gonna write about your game, it's not gonna do anything without like story.
I love the thing you talk about in the first dev vlog thing of how like the we never talked about spears and spades. I just realized, which is really fun. That's what I think you would say. That's what spears and spades deserves.
Yes. Did you even play Spears and Spades?
I played the first level when I was going to make a video about playing every LeatherIceCream game.
I don't think that's happening.
Yeah, which that's not happening because Spears and Spades is boring, and I have to talk about Voltage Starving, which contains. Dude, can I? Okay, one thing at a time. I just want to make it. This is funny to me.
Is there only one Spears? Is there only one Voltage Starving question?
It's that I laughed so fucking hard when I played was it like the third one or something where I click on it and I see a big disclaimer write up of like, hey, this this like warning, this like as a joke sexualizes Binding of Isaac characters, and I was like, what? I gotta see
that
this.
Is like that is one fucking hell of a thing to just fucking stumble on, and especially a guy that worked on Repentance. Your heart drops when you fucking see that. You're like, oh my god.
I saw it.
What the fuck is wrong with this guy?
I laughed so fucking hard because just put yourself in my shoes. I know nothing about this series. I just know that I need to look into this for research, and I click on it and I see that disclaimer and I'm like, what is this game even about? What is this game even about? Yeah. Have you seen the tweet? It's this guy. There's this fucking guy on YouTube who's like a weird like I think like Catholic that makes like commentary videos, and every one of his thumbnails, it's like a screenshot from Ocarina of Time with like bold text on it, and someone tweeted out, "What is Ocarina of Time even about?" And it's a video called like. It's a video where the thumbnail is of Link in the Forest Temple, and the text says "Jews doesn't equal Israel."
That's
and it's
yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
I'm dead. I just don't know. Why would on an Ocarina of Time video of all things?
I need to find it again.
It reminds me
so
of
funny.
I think there used to be this YouTube. There was this YouTube video where like a lady was explaining quantum physics, but in the background they had Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus footage.
That's really funny.
Which is much less interesting, but like I need to also fucking put a disclaimer before people start like calling me a goddamn pervert in a negative sense. But like the fucking In Voltage Starving 3, it's a fucking dating simulator that's Isaac characters, but I had to like I aged those guys up.
Oh yeah,
because like I am not drawing like sexualized 5-year-olds. That's not that ain't it.
I should have probably said that earlier before somebody's heart fucking stopped. Yes, it's a bit and they're aged up. It's a dating sim parody.
Now with that being said, I do not do that even if you do age them up. It is still like kind of fucked up and weird.
It's just like
save yourself the trouble and don't make fucking like sexualized Isaac characters. I think you'll make everyone's life easier.
Somebody in the comments posting like the 1984 gif. You cannot draw porn of Binding of Isaac characters.
I'll fucking be there. I'll be saying like you can't do that. I'll vote. I'm voting for whoever's saying that. I'll be the damn candidate for that.
It's like oh, that was such a funny experience. Yeah, what was the story behind Voltage Starving you made on stream?
Yeah,
right?
I did make it on stream because the first one was just don't starve characters in like a parody of a dating sim. Like, and it was nothing like a dating sim. The entire joke is that it looks like a dating sim, and then it just goes off and does its own stupid bullshit. It was like inspired by like a video by Stir that was called like he was playing like some kind of dating sim called Go Go Nippon My First Time in Japan, and I was just like and it had like a scene where you walked into a girl's room while she was like undressing in the laundry room, and in the video he goes, "Holy shit, what's wrong with that washing machine?" and that really stuck to me. So I was just like, I was replicating that scene, but with Wolfgang Don't Starve in the bathroom. And the sign says, I need to use the bathroom from Agent 47. Hi, I'm LeatherIceCream. I'm here to promote my new game, Myths Are 100% True.
That's beautiful. We circled it all back, and the funniest part is we still haven't talked about Spears and Spades at all.
I think that's a great bit. We never get around to it. Anyway, Voltage Starving was created in 2014 by YouTuber LeatherIceCream, who did not make anything weird ever, and definitely did not want to erase all of it from the internet, but it got re-uploaded anyway. And he made that game, and it had that one really funny joke, man. Everything else he kind of forgot. I don't know. We didn't. I don't know. We weren't paying attention.
Have you ever? I forget if you said that. Have you ever called back to that joke of I need to use the bathroom with Agent 47? Because that feels like a Myths poster.
Yeah, in Myths are 100% true. There's the art exhibit level, and you can find one of the pins in a bathroom that I made exclusively to be a bathroom just to have that joke, where a poster says, "I gotta use the bathroom," and it's just some like new metal looking guy.
That's really good. That's a good bit. I do okay. The bit of not talking about Spears and Spades is really funny, but I do want to talk about it a little bit because I think it's important to the thing you talk about of like mechanical integrity of
Sure, go for
Spears
it.
and Spades is you can describe it.
Spears and Spades is a game that I made because I thought it would be fun to make a Ghosts and Goblins like.
Ghosts and Goblins is cool.
That's about everything that's good about it. It's like very surface level things about Ghosts and Goblins. It's easier than it's easy compared to Ghosts and Goblins, which kind of misses the point.
Yeah.
It doesn't have very arcadey design. It's kind of like clunky. Its level design isn't very interesting. Certainly not my best work. It kind of feels bad because like the art isn't very good and the sound effects aren't very good. And it has a couple interesting enemies, but not nearly enough. And the only drop of personality of my own I have in there is that when you do the second loop in Ghosts and Goblins, because in Ghosts and Goblins you have to play the game twice. It's just that it's harder on the second time. The wrinkle I added is that when you play the game a second time, the justification is that you've broken the game and then it turns into a creepypasta the second time around. So the generic Ghosts and Goblins clone gets recontextualized into you're familiar with it now. Now we corrupt it into a creepypasta. And that's like an interesting idea. And it's kind of wasted because the rest of the problems with the game still stand.
Yeah, that'd be a fun thing to revisit for a future game of like fucking with you on a replay in that way. There was a lot of speculative stuff of like, oh, what if when you do something on Deltarune it affects Undertale that like Undertale can never really do because like they're just two distinct video games. And so I think like there is an idea there of like playing on something that I'm really interested in is playing on iconicness, which is hard because you have to make something iconic first.
Yeah, that's all. It's like when you do make something iconic, then you have the pressure on you. If you want to play on it, then you come across the problem, which is the problem that making anything that's popular is, which is that you have to follow up on it. And when you directly reference the thing that you're popular with, that it got you popular and stuff, and you reference it directly for the effect of playing on that, you do risk people saying that it's pandering.
Yeah. This is something hard for me because I love continuity and callbacks and shit, but it's like you talked about like I'm done with multiverse shit. Because I get it from Discworld. I get it from like I love the idea of having an interconnected universe, but it is always like how do you avoid doing shitty MCU bullshit of like, oh my god, this character returned.
I mean, that's tough. For me, an interesting take on that, for me, obviously, is JoJo. In case you don't know, in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, it's split off into parts. And every single part is like an individual story. And every one of those parts deals with a separate, as the protagonist of every part is a different family member of like the Joestar family. So you get like the one part is during like the Gothic period in England, where it's like, you know, like the Draculas and the stuff like that.
The Draculas.
And then the second part, it's like the grandson of that guy, and it's like during like the beginning of World War II. Then after that, it's like the 80s, and then after that, it's the 90s, and then after that, it's the 2000s, the early 2000s, and then after that is like 2011. And then it's back to cowboys, and then after that, it's modern day again. And then after that, it's modern day again. So it's like a weird thing of like the protagonist is different, but there are like reoccurring characters that come back. But because time had passed, they're older and have like things changed about their character.
That is really interesting. And it is like it's really fun to have a legacy. It's just hard to build up that legacy.
Yeah.
I think my dream would be to have a huge catalog of bullshit I can pull. Like the thing I love One of my favorite bits in Myths is the song that samples the fucking anti-birth announcer pack you made.
Oh yeah, that entire song, uh, like it samples the cathedral theme from Anti-Birth. It samples the Spears and Spades theme. The entire idea behind that, for like those at home, because I think you understand, is for those of you that didn't leave after getting a fucking heart attack after hearing the Voltage Starting 3 thing. The track samples these things because it's inspired by DJ Homer Simpson's remix, where it's like using some like fucking existing techno song and it's splicing it in with fucking voice samples from like Homer Simpson and shit and etc. And it's just like it's very like kind of like Ceda Cedovic where it's like uses like inane samples in a annoying techno song. And I thought that's interesting because that's a song that a Myth video inexplicably uses, which is kind of weird. But I was like, hey, if a Myth video used it, that's ridiculous. Mind games are ridiculous. Put it in the fucking thing. And I thought that was an interesting idea. And so it's used, and the only way we could use that is we have to use our previous work that we own because we can't just fucking take fucking Rick and Morty clips or something.
If you were brave, then maybe you could try.
There are Steam games that have been up for 10 years that have like Michael Jackson's Thriller or like Mad World.
Are you serious?
They still haven't been taken down, but that's because copyright law only cares once the copyright holder actually like notices.
I don't know, but is that do you actually is that true? Because I would love to see those.
Yeah, sure. It's like I don't remember what it's called. It's like X dash some number, whatever. I remember it just because like Critical used to do like speed runs of random fucking video games nobody gave a shit about, which was entertaining. Basically, getting back to it, the inexplicable samples from like the Anti-Birth thing is because it's my damn voice. I can use it in my game without having to pay for a license. Same thing with Mudath recycling his own songs that are like familiar to people that are like either played Spears and Spades or played Anti-Birth. I know somebody that played Anti-Birth that recognized the song anyway. And it's like also inspired by like, hang on, what is it called? I keep forgetting the guy's name. It's Benny Benassi. It's like he's most famous for his song like Satisfaction from like the early 2000s, which uses that like Microsoft Sam, and it's like a techno song, and it goes like doo, 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 and it goes like Satisfaction.
Oh, that's
and like that, and it has like a really music video that is the only reason it's popular. But anyway, he made another song that's also kind of popular that's called California Dreaming, which samples California Dreaming from like the Mamas and the Papas, and that song is like kind of somber and melancholy. And then the guy took that song and went like doonts, 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 doonts. So I thought it would be really funny if the stupid fucking Simpsons remix inspired song sampled the fucking Anti-Birth Cathedral theme, because that's also like
that's awesome,
holy themed. So it's like you understand like how the vision of like even a song that I'm not like strictly in charge of.
Yeah,
goes.
and I think that like you talk about like directors let people cook, of just like I like a director is like being a really specific Goldilocks range of being hands-on and hands-off, of like you need to tell people this is what I want, this is my idea, and then you need to make sure that they're doing that. And if they're not doing it how you want, you need to think, okay, is this better than what I wanted, or should we change it?
Yeah, it's just like from what I understand, like Gabe Newell, since basically Portal 2 has stopped having input on any of those games for an interesting reason, because like it turned out that he had so much like fame and respect in like the entire industry that he found that any developer he talks to just like almost out of fear goes like, yes, Mr. Newell, I will do this now. And he found that really unproductive.
Oh, wow.
Because nobody was saying no. And he was just like, okay, I'm just gonna like stop being a director, because anytime I say anything, people just like take it as gospel.
That's honestly really fucking like bold of him to do. Of just like, yeah, I noticed this. I'm just gonna not do it. Like that's good fucking thought. That's like good insightfulness. That's good directorship.
Yeah, that's at least what I heard. I don't know if it's like super confirmed, but that's basically it. And it's just like, I think it's just it checks out because he's like extremely practical minded.
Yeah.
So I think that entire train of thought is finished now. Were we talking about spears and spades?
We were talking about leaving behind a large legacy and being able to pull back to it. That is my dream as a creative, is to have a huge list of bullshit and then be able to pick from it and go, remember this weird, dumbass, obscure reference? I probably get it from Homestar Runner. It's like a home thing that both Homestar Runner and Homestuck do. That like MS Paint Adventures are just have a massive catalog of inside jokes that they will pull back to, starting from Jailbreak and continuing to like the end of Homestuck. And Homestar Runner is just fucking full of, they will make a joke and then they will reference that joke and they will referencing that joke, and it's an infinite laundry list of in jokes.
I mean, it's in that video of yours that you made about myths, so it's like you compared me very much to that sort of thing. I'm honestly not sure how to feel about that, because my always knee-jerk reaction is that you're self-cannibalizing yourself with that kind of thing. But I don't know, because if it can be done well, then that must mean that I can do it well. So I might be doing it well, but I'm never sure. So I try to always like tamper things, try not to get too indulgent. It may not always work, but it's like I think as long as it does the Eternum thing, where it's funny in its own way, because when you don't understand it, then that surreal humor feeling of not getting the joke, but the joke is still funny because it's so baffling. As long as that's there, there's some value there.
I think the best example of that, maybe your most indulgent bit, is the Kei Gano outro, where she crashes into the wall and it cuts to the fucking like Earthbound game over with her, and then it goes, Kei Gano made a full recovery, as like an Ice Snort reference.
It's more like a reference to that fucking thing where it's like SpongeBob flies into the sky, explodes for a single frame, and then it just like cuts to a black and white image of him as if he died, and it says like, rest in peace, like Sponge, nobody liked him. I know that was Clay's idea, and I was like, well, a little too direct on something that's like funny right now. I don't know if it's gonna like, yeah, I'm afraid it has a shelf life, even if I do find it like absurd in a way that I find funny. It's just that I'm concerned as a stupid hipster hippie, I'm concerned that when I reference something that's popular.
I think about that too, don't worry, of like, you need to be so careful when referencing contemporary shit posting, because it is the thing that can age the worst. Because if we reference like Hotel Mario YouTube poop now, then we're over the hump and we can realize, okay, this is something classic to us.
Yeah.
But like, if I reference what's like a meme right now? If I reference that fucking weird, like, have you seen that image of like the AI Wallace from Wallace and Gromit like doing like the peace sign? If I reference that now, am I gonna get executed?
No, I haven't. I see some weird fucking bullshit where it's like the new Spider-Man, but it's like there's like a whole bunch of fucking effects filtered put onto there to the point where it's unrecognizable or something. It's we're both talking bullshit that the other one does not understand. I think we're bad at knowing what's popular funny meme right now.
We're the wrong person for this. We're the wrong people for this. I need to ask someone.
Go elsewhere if you want to know about this stuff.
Yeah, we're the people who are gonna stream Pac-Man All-Stars, whatever the fuck you sent me. All right.
Yeah, what a fucking video game.
I will like. It's so funny because you sent me that of like, you fuck with Pac-Man All-Stars, and I went, oh yeah, I've had this like backlogged for like a long time. I've been meaning to play it. We're like broken in like such a similar way. It's beautiful.
Yeah, kind of.
Chat, leave a comment. This is your test. If you watch the full podcast, leave a comment if you want to see me and Leather stream Pac-Man All-Stars together.
I'll fucking do it.
I will.
I have no idea what the hell I'm doing, but
I'll fucking do it. I will, because I know how to do this shit for old PC games, so I can figure out the technical logistics. So it's just, if you...
I'm talking about playing the video game.
We're gonna become Pac-Man All-Stars sweats. It's fine.
Yeah, that sounds like an idea. I already played it on stream while my girlfriend was watching it. Well, actually now it's now my girlfriend. At the time they weren't, but uh, they weren't playing at the time either. And it was just like, what is this? Did people pay money for this? This is like a Neopets game.
Because it's like a multiplayer spin-off of like the multiplayer in fucking Pac-Man Adventures in Time.
I guess.
Which is like who the fuck? All right, leave a second comment if you know what Pac-Man Adventures in Time is. Have you played Pac-Man Adventures in Time, chat? Because I have, and I'm pretty sure you have, Leather.
That's one of my autism games that I had as a kid, along with the Frogger one. I forgot to mention all the other ones, but I think it does. I'm trying to think if Pac-Man Adventures in Time has a reference in one of my games. But I think, funnily enough, there's a reference. There's a level in that game that's made up of 4 small mazes, and you have to like collect all the dots in one maze before the door opens up to the next one, and then you have to go to the next maze. The problem is every time you go to the next maze, it gets another ghost. So by the time you're on the final tiny maze, you're in a tiny maze trying to get all these dots, but all 4 ghosts are present on it. And I think that was one of the many inspirations for some of the rooms in Repentance, where it's like made up of like 3 or 4 small rooms that you navigate. It was also inspired by some levels in like the End Game, which is like a Flash game from back in the 2000s as well. Kind of had similar things going on there as well.
That seems like a Leather thing of like, yeah, this room from Repentance is based on Pac-Man Adventures in Time. That game's fucking weird. It feels like it shouldn't exist.
There's like, if we're talking about obscure references in fucking Repentance, yeah, I don't think you played much of Isaac yourself, but in case there's any surviving Isaac fans right now, there is a mummy enemy in the game where there's a white mummy and then there's like another mummy that's like covered in blood, and they mirror each other's movements. And that is a reference to a fucking Ceda-ass game that would be that would have been referenced in Ceda that both me and Kilburn played as kids. It's called Mummy Maze. And the enemies in that are like vaguely inspired by like the mummies in that. And that's why they're called maze roamers instead of like mummies.
I think I'm looking at my list. I think we've like exhausted almost everything, unless there's like other things you want to talk about.
Did I make any other video games?
Let's talk about Dante and the Woodworm for the next 20 minutes.
Yeah, Dante and the Woodworm is weird because it was inspired by a presentation somebody in my school had where they would do quirky little animations of historical figures walking around, and for some reason I found that incredibly cringy, which I kind of don't understand now, but I'm a whole other lad now. And then I was like, how about I just do a concept that like I think I would understand better? So I was like, what if I made Dante Alighieri, grumpy person that he is in my mind as an author, what if I made him have to deal with the woodworm from, what was it called? Fucking, it wasn't Adventure, it was like Voyage, Magical Voyage. Yeah, it was, yeah, it's called The Magic Voyage from 1994. That's a fucking movie about how Columbus, fucking had a woodworm, cartoon woodworm that told him about fucking
What the fuck is this? I'm looking up the Magic Voyage right now. Okay, let me read this synopsis. Christopher Columbus decides to go on a journey to prove that the Earth is not flat. His companion is a smart woodworm who's on a quest of his own to save a beautiful fairy princess from the evil Lord Swarm and his insect army. What the I know it was nice, like, I know, like, I'm saying this in retrospect, but I feel like making, like, a children's animated movie about Christopher Columbus is somewhat ghoulish.
Yeah.
And the fact that there's, like, a worm and a fairy king is the funniest goddamn thing ever.
The fairy king is, by the way, in the, like, fucking Aztecs. That's a little, I don't know, I'm not touching that, man. There's, like, some fucking...
I feel like I've seen... Can you look at the Magic Voyage poster with me? I feel like I've seen this guy before. He looks so much like another cartoon character.
Magic Voyage.
Or some shit.
I mean, I think I know what you're thinking of.
He looks so fucking weird. Hey, real quick, this is Editing Gabri from the future. We kind of brushed this off, and Leather thought I was talking about Captain Hook. But no, I realized this while editing. Look up Magic Voyage, the Magic Voyage. That's the Wacky World of Tex Avery character. He looks like a fucking Wacky World of Tex Avery guy.
It does have like one of the funniest gifs ever. Hang on, oh yeah, if you look up Magic Voyage gif, let me know what's the first one you see. If the background is dark purple, you've found the correct one.
Oh, here we go. I think that's a. What the fuck?
Oh, it's good, man. Why did they do that?
Oh my goodness.
The colonizer boner.
The classic colonizer boner they all get. Okay, we've been going for almost 4 hours. I think unless we have anything you really want to talk about, I think we can probably call it at colonizer boner.
Let me see. I don't know. We didn't mention Satan Skates.
Oh yes, Satan Skates. Yeah.
And Mount Money, but Mount Money is actually more Michael's game. I just kind of did the art for it.
Yeah, there's like a couple random straggler things that like you've done, but like the main narrative is the road to myths, which we did talk about.
Yeah, or also known as like the road to like being like an actual artist that isn't just like stealing something else and then just like fucking being like, guys, it just fucking it's Mega Man. Where's the attention?
Yeah,
I thought you guys liked Mega Man. I think my takeaway from making myths and like the heterodyma for robots is that like you gotta find yourself, put yourself in a video in your art or you'll die. With the fucking advent of like AI, which is basically like it's just gonna generate any image and then just like take the collective experience of everything on the internet and spit it out. It is more important than ever to be yourself, because like a machine cannot be you.
There's a great thing you said to me when we were talking on DMs where you said like in the realm of like low budget indie game, your uniqueness is all you really have. So if you mix it in derivative, it's like really bad for you.
I mean, I learned that lesson the hard way.
Just like one final question then is just that like to wrap it up, is just like give me like your motto, I guess, your philosophy in a sentence.
I mean, I think I said it before, but I don't know if it's a philosophy, but it's like I said multiple times that I just take stupid, silly shit seriously. This is a line I saw from an Achy Jakey video, and it kind of inspired the super myths and their theme of being based on failed video games, which is, he basically said all video games go to heaven. And it kind of is like, that's kind of true, because the amount of effort that it takes to make like even a bad video game is tremendous. So it's like a video game developer does not want to make a bad video game unless they're doing it like on purpose, and that's just,
yeah,
you know, that's fine too. But it's like nobody wants to make like Gollum the way it ended up.
No, maybe we do.
Yeah. It's more like, I'm not saying like, oh, well, people need to buy bad video games. It's more like you can find value in even bad things and take away like good lessons from it. And a lot of the super myths in Myths Are 100% True, the bosses kind of have that theme, because it's almost like has this feeling that like, considering they're like personifications of bad video games, and they have this sort of like undertone of being like, this is very extreme. It's like it has an undertone of being like kind of abused animals that are like kind of scared to do anything, and are scared that they're always going to be attacked, because for the entirety of the 2000s and 2010s, it's just nerds yelling at fucking video games, pieces of art, like they're fucking misbehaving children and they're like abusive parents. Which is like, calm down, guys. It's a bunch of zeros and ones arranged in a lot of ways.
Yeah, the culture really did shift. I'm especially glad. Like, I think for the better mostly.
Yeah, it's mostly for the better. At least like for like YouTube or the places I hang out, I think TikTok is a bit of a different story. I think some of like the bullying is still there, which it's not great, but I don't know. Another thing is just that a lot of the YouTube poops I grew up with are like very chaotic and noisy YouTube poops. Kind of like even more distorted version of something like the Fish Pins. Like Fish Pins for me is like a little too organized, a little too like makes too much sense to me. It has like, there's jokes that have normal punchlines and they're funny because they were broken and put back together through like basically like video vandalism, which is like again one of the reasons I love remix culture so much. But the YouTube poops I grew up with are like very chaotic and noisy and loud, and a lot of their jokes are very much like, you know, like we sentence mix this character to say something funny and it's loud, or like there's like a quiet thing and it's supposed to be quiet, and then the character says a quiet thing but it's very loud. And it's like a lot of the humor comes from like the pacing of it for some reason. The noise it makes, it's like, this is how like experimental music guys must feel like.
There's a great post made by I forget their name. They're one of like the codifiers of YouTube poop, but they were talking about how they wish there was a filter in Adobe, in like a video editor, that gave you the kind of audio distortion the Quebec Gamers Hotel Mario fucking clips.
Oh yeah, I remember that post.
Where it's like the most like hilariously compressed Mario going, "What is small?"
Oh yeah, that's classic. Or like, you know, the classic that the kids know about, which is "This is it, Luigi."
Oh yeah, the one
like,
where it
why
sounds
did
like
it have to be that loud? Apparently, what I heard is that is just how the CDI outputs audio.
That's insane if that's true.
Yeah, if that's true, yeah. But what I'm trying to say, it would be good to have like a filter where it's like it replicates the distortion of that without actually being loud, because I think that distortion effect can be funny if done through like pacing. Very abstract, like kind of humor, basically. My friend Studio loves that sort of stuff. Like, the most extreme and most loud example of this is a YouTuber called Mr. Tenick. There is hardly any actual jokes in there. And it is, of course, it was from like over 16 years ago, so some of them can be downright inappropriate, so fair warning. But it's interesting how it can still be funny, because it's like loud equals funny, except that it's like, you can't just be loud equals funny. It has to be like made intentionally with a certain flow to it, because if it's just loud throughout the entire thing, you didn't make anything funny. You made like speakers that are glitching.
Yeah, I think one of the only examples of that working is, you ever see the fucking one of like, I forget what it's called. I think it's just called like Clean Floors, Mr. Krabs, where it's like the most disheveled and distorted YouTube poop ever of just really loud equals funny the entire time, and it's so degraded that it's funny.
Yeah, that's definitely Mr. Tenick.
We need to realize as people, you know what? Loud equals funny.
I think
grow up.
Yes, but also sometimes quiet. There's a rare quiet equals funny, which gets me really good.
Absolutely.
But what I'm saying is, those are the kind of like chaotic YouTube poops I grew up with, and what I'm really happy about is that the current generation of shit posts takes a lot of inspiration from those, which makes me smile in my heart.
Yeah, I've really noticed that it feels like it does feel like meme culture is being taken by people who grew up on like the classic age of YTPs, and there's a lot of like retrospective related to it, and how like a lot of it really feels like YouTube poops are this specific counterculture that like everyone who's like, how do I say this? It feels like it's in the spot of like Earthbound. Does that make sense? Where like it's like not normie, but it's like a little bit deeper. Where it's like, if you're into this, you're like you're like a pretty fucking dedicated cool guy on YouTube. And so there's a lot of like, I see a lot of modern indie games do YTP references, and it's not fucking corny. I think it's cool. Like, you could, there's a did you catch the month cereal reference in Deltarune Chapter 5?
Oh yeah, I remember something like that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
that's a classic. I think that was also made by the person that made like Fesh Pins.
Oh shit.
It does a lot of Dr. Robotnik. Actually, honestly, Dr. Robotnik has a lot of like appeal still in YouTube poops today.
Yeah,
they still have a lot. They still do a lot with him today. Saw the 9/11 special. That was one hell of a fucking video.
Oh god, I love Crobo.
The first time I saw like felt seen is again that like Pizza Tower Sage demo, where if you play as Snick and you taunt, all the taunts are references to I Teach Vader YTP
Yes,
MVs.
I remember this fun fact.
And I was like, Pizza Tower, my game doesn't have too many inspirations from Pizza Tower, but what Pizza Tower did was convince me to let loose with the stuff that I reference.
That's awesome.
So it's like, I reference like a lot more YTPMVs in Myths because I have a lot of them. I love a lot of them. I was within that community for like 2010. I tried my hand at making them as well, and they were all dog shit. And it never improved. But I can only hope to give back to the community by just really enjoying them and like referencing them in my games. Like I mean, another thing I'll say about the Dream game is that I was thinking really hard about the feeling of it. And one thing that I find the most appealing to is that it has my love for remix culture. And my definition of remix culture from the internet is kind of loose. Some of the things I talked about in this interview I would consider part of remix culture. But it uses that as. It uses this internet remix culture to convey like the feeling of the gameplay, which is destroying and breaking things and using the pieces to make something better with it.
It's beautiful.
You think that's like a survival crafting game, but it's far from it. Much like Mr. 100% True, the core feeling is not as literal as I make it sound. The core gameplay in my games are very abstract, as you saw with Myths.
Which is cool. I think that's great. I'm really glad Myths wasn't just like a slow photography game, because it appeals to me on a much more visceral level.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. Like, some people have pointed out that it's like a little bit kind of like photography because you're trying to find the right moment to do it. I think it's interesting because like the camera has really slow reload speed, even if it has infinite ammo, which is interesting because the game, like Ultra Kill, is very fast. And the thing in Ultra Kill is that it also has unlimited ammo, but the currency you're dealing with is reload speed, because you're trying to figure out which weapons are on cooldown, even if the cooldown is a matter of like milliseconds. You're still thinking about it, and it kind of forces you to switch weapons like that instead of like switching weapons because you ran out of ammo, which was interesting to me. And a lot of that is in the Myths are 100% True because you also go really fast in that game. And because you go so fast, and the enemies are so fast most of the time, the camera reload speed is like you got to make those shots count.
I love that. I do love that a lot.
So much for wrapping up, by the way.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's probably everything we really can squeeze out of this.
The last moments I did get some stuff in there I really wanted to say, but forgot about for the entirety of the interview, so I'm glad I got it in there.
Yeah, there we go. Shove that shit out. No, absolutely fucking thank you for this. Again, this is an extremely long time coming. And it's been great. It's been great talking to you.
It's been great to be here. Yeah, against this fire pit. Turn it off immediately. I hate fire.
Editor, replace it with the gif of the guy writing fire, but it's water.
That's a great gif. I like really abstract jokes like that.
It's really good. It's one of the best gifs ever. It's so fucking great. Yeah, no, just fucking thank you so much. Tune in for the Pac-Man All-Stars stream. We're running duos on that shit.
I don't even know what Pac-Man is.
He's like that guy on Tumblr.
Ah, yes, it's good. I remember that. He needs to chill the fuck out. I don't know what his deal is.
We'll force fem him. That's fine.
Let's not go there. I get there's a whole can of worms, and I'm not in the worm business. I've only played Worms Armageddon. I can't be dealing with this many worms.
I fuck with Worms Armageddon. Let's go. You do the rest, worms.
Bringing it back to the fuck-ass first Jeff the Killer creepypasta. Thank you.
There we go. That's how you know I'm a real one. Okay, good night, everybody.
Good night.
Okay, stop recording.
Okay, penis recording?